opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack. This like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You, man. It is Monday, November 25th, 2024. I am your host, Scott. Of course, you know to follow me on all social media platforms at Barberchair Scott. You can follow the Barberchair Network at Barberchair Net on all social media platforms. And, of course, follow H&B Media at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram, man. Subscribe to the patreon.com/Barberchair Network. If you scan right here on the QR code, it'll take you right to the link, man. If you subscribe to the $10 holla, which is the Barberchair All Access tier, you will get 25% off on your first order at the Barberchair Network shop. That is bcnetshop.com. That is for first-time subscribers only. If you are a current subscriber, man, then, just go on the actual site and just buy some merch. But we'll have some Black Friday deals coming up for y'all this week as well, man. We got a packed show for y'all. The homie Pavy will be joining us later on to talk NBA. Courtney will be joining us later on to get into the football, man. But we're going to talk some local hour stuff here in just a minute. I'm going to bring my co-host in a minute, but I have a different way I'm going to start this show now because of some news we just got. We're going to bring in the rest of the guys. We got Bang, we got Mikey, we got Dante right here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Of course, you can follow Bang at JR Bang on all social media platforms. You can follow Dante at Octobers on Twitter, and you can follow Mikey at Junior_Solito on Twitter. Hey man, what happened to the game that I love? Dog?
Oh my God.
What happened to the game that I love? Look, man. Look, man.
What
we gotta talk about this, dog. Like I know that I am a self-declared Kendrick stan. I am fine with that. There's only two artists that I will die on the hill for, and that is Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z. I am very, very aware of that. But I ain't never, ever in the history of this beautiful game that we call hip-hop ever seen niggas call the fans. Man. I've never seen it. When Ross called him a white boy, it's looking like it was true. Because this is the most white man thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen anything like it. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Drake just filed a lawsuit against Universal and Spotify for, we said, boosting, manipulate, and saturate the streaming services and airways with Kendrick Lamar's song Not Like Us. And then was even more bitch made in this. He says he's not mad at Kendrick and his lyrics. He's doing this to help other artists. Nigga, please. Look, man, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because it's a sports show, and we're gonna reserve more of this when we go on summer sessions tomorrow. But usually, when I think usually in a beef, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm never a fan of Drake's music. I was a big fan of Drake music. I've always been partial to Kendrick, obviously. But ain't no coming back from this. I'm sorry. I personally can't do it. I have never, ever seen nothing like this. I've never seen somebody not take an L the way that he hasn't taken an L. Yesterday, he's on a stream with some alt-right nigga talking about rap is weird. Now, it's weird because you got your head kicked in. That's why it's weird. So it's just I've never seen anything like this. I don't understand how you, as somebody of the game of hip-hop, can respect something like this. I'm finna get on my brown sugar hip hop bag, but I am at a loss for words. He's telling right now. That's exactly what that is. And to put it on this, I'm trying to protect future artists. Nigga, please. All right, that's really all I gotta say. Dante, Ben, you have anything to say before we actually move on to talk about what we gotta talk about?
I mean, it's pathetic. It's pathetic, bro. Like it's funny because what the nigga say in the song, crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. That's what all this shit is. G. He really got smoked, and then not only bitched about it, went and sued this man. G. Like I'm really at a loss for words at this point. I might need a new.
No,
I don't know.
He didn't sue Kendrick.
Sue the label. I'm sorry, sue the label, which is worse. Which is way worse because this is the same label. If you read it, it said the label pretty much told them niggas sue Kendrick. Because all they're gonna say is, well, we do the same thing for you. So what are we talking about?
He's trying to put
we know
Universal
he's unpaid for
on a RICO charge.
Ridiculous, bro.
That is nuts. That is nuts.
This is my favorite rapper, G. I'm really disappointed.
Drake's your favorite rapper?
I mean, up until a few months ago, like this.
No. Well, like of all time or like currently?
No. Hov was my favorite rapper.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have some questions in a minute.
Oh no, fuck no. Jay-Z's my favorite rapper ever.
We're gonna have some questions.
Bro, nice. Bro's extreme. He's extremely talented. Ghostwriters aside, but this I didn't expect this. This is
exactly. This is right. Exactly. Put that quote on the screen, the kids. This is like when you get your ass whooped to school and you try to sue the school.
Man.
This is, man. But we're gonna divulge more into this on Summer Sessions tomorrow. We're gonna have a holiday episode for y'all before we actually go on a break or whatever. But I just had to get that because I just couldn't believe that, man. But outside that, how was y'all weekend, man? I know Mikey, I linked up with you yesterday before the Bears game. Mikey had the Bears shiesty on.
I should have wore it today.
Yeah. Oh man, but how was the game experience?
It was cool. It was cool, man. To be honest, I don't really got like that type of relationship with my old man. But he retired from his job after 30 years in October. So like I said on previous pods, we kind of wanted to, do something and kind of kick it. So we chose, going to a Bears game since we both fuck with football. It was dope, man. It was dope to kind of, get drunk with my pops and watch the game. And we were sitting next to so the tickets he got from one of his boys that has season tickets, and he really just flips them to rival teams, to incoming teams, to the road games, for the road teams, because it's right alongside the visitor locker room. So it was cool. I was talking shit to one of the Vikings coaches, asking if they had any offensive play callers that they could loan us for next year. I was talking shit to a couple of the players, but it was really dope. The game was dope. We stood for everything. And yeah, that shit was dope. But like the one thing with me is like I'm still if I can, I'm still gonna choose watching football at the crib on the TV than in person. Just because, honestly, it was funny. My man texted me today because I was like, yo, did any of the AP rankings come out for college? Because my phone had died. And I was trying to catch up on yesterday. I was like, yo, I saw the Titans Texans score, and I was like, yo, what the fuck happened there? And my man's like, yo, you went to Soldier Field for 4 hours and literally came back and don't know anything that's going on in the world. And I say, yeah, the Bears will do that to you. Losing the OT will do that to you. So it was dope. Definitely probably gonna check out a road game next year though. Vegas is probably gonna be the move.
Yeah, I will say out of the three major sports, football live, at least pro football. I meant to a college football game, but at least pro football is definitely the third on a live experience chart for me.
College is fire. College
is fire.
I did a Iowa State, in Iowa City at the Iowa Hawkeyes over at Connect Stadium. I did their homecoming weekend back when I was in college, and it was Halloween weekend. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, I haven't been to. I want to go to a college game. I know my favorite out of the three is definitely baseball. I think baseball is just relaxing. Summer, you know what I'm saying? You get to be under the sun, drink, chill. It used to be more enjoyable before they had the 24 o'clock because you get to chill longer. Now them games are like NBA game speed, but then I would put NBA game right under it as experience. Football is just pro football is different. It's just not for me, honestly, out of the three, man. But Dante, man, how was your weekend, brother?
It's pretty solid, man. It's getting cold out here, so golf season winding down. So I gotta find new things
Find
to do
another
on
hobby.
Saturdays. Yeah, you feel me? But I mean, other than that, I really can't complain, bro. The Bears game was surprisingly entertaining, so that was a good cap on my Sunday. But other than that, I'm really just chilling, bro. Still running, bro.
Still running. Like Drake running to the fucking lawyers. Bang. How you feeling better? I know.
Yeah, I'm feeling
when
better.
MIA on the show on Friday.
Boy, when I tell you, I didn't realize one, how sick I was and still kind of am, but two, just with the amount of medicine that I'm taking, how I can't eat nothing. Really, like I really got to watch what I eat. Like I ain't never had a situation that I had on Friday where I not only threw up, but just nodded off like I was a crackhead with all of the drugs that I have to take right now. But outside of that, first of all, I'm doing this show and get my whams on because between this Drake thing and the Squabble Up video being dropped, I watched the video, but I didn't watch the video. And all of the Easter eggs in this video is just amazing. So
Yes.
between the Drake stuff and Kendrick Lamar stuff and doing the show today, I'm going to be very busy. But shouts out to y'all for holding it down. And I hate the Chicago Bears at this point because it gets bad when they give you hope and it gets taken away. Like I would have rather them just got their ass beat, but no, they gave me hope just to take it away.
We're gonna get into that in just a minute because I didn't have any hope in this game.
I did.
No, I did. I definitely had hope even going into the game.
But no,
it was a winnable game, right? Yeah. Oh no, I got it going into it. Maybe because I was there.
I picked them to win the game before, but I'm gonna tell you why I didn't have hope in. Man, like you said, I was looking at two things too much. Twitter is killing this nigga right now, and for somebody who is as internet savvy as Drake is, you would think that he wouldn't think this is gonna land right. But whatever, I don't know what that nigga's doing right now. I can't wait for something special tomorrow because Pavy got some explaining to do.
Bro, what if he pull a Post Malone, Jay?
What's a Post Malone?
Well, he just switched genres on niggas. Like he just say fuck y'all.
Hey, man, what Joe Budden said? Joe Budden said when he put out that song doing something, he said he got knocked him into another genre. Like, shout out to homie Black Trey. I saw a tweet yesterday. He said, "Go make some other music, then mark ass nigga." Yo, shout out to homie Trey, man. But let's. By the way, this is the first and only show of the week. It's Thanksgiving this week. Black Friday is on Friday. We will not be recording on Black Friday, man. So this is the first and only show, so we're going to actually preview week 13. A very, very, very early preview. I wouldn't put no bets on this shit because we don't know injury-wise what's going to happen in between this and Sunday. But we're still going to give you our picks for the day, man. So let's go into the local hour. There we go.
It is the local hour. It's the local hour.
There we go. Local hour, 11/25/2024, man. I'm going to kick it off with my sound off. I'm shooting at another light skin nigga. See what y'all making me do to the light skin community. Two of our members I got to talk about today. But I got a very special video I want to play real quick before I get into my rant. Let's play this.
We're gonna have a relentless approach to fix our weakness. We're gonna maintain great self-awareness of who we are. We're going to solve problems with open communication and candor. And we're going to consistently put players in position to succeed. And the last thing, the most important piece, is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
That was your Chicago Bears general manager, Ryan Poles, almost 3 years ago. We're coming up on about 2 months from that being 3 years ago, January 25th, 2022, where he was introduced to the Chicago media as the new general manager. In the media room, they still don't put us there. I don't know why they don't put us in that big old room they got. They got a lot of space over there. But that quote, when I saw it, I said head ass. Like, I was, it just sounded like something I don't want to hear from a team that ain't dominated the North and God knows how long. Now it looks even funnier. As I was watching the game yesterday, and I got to give Bears fans credit because I was just looking at Soldier Field, like maybe a couple minutes before the game started, especially when I came down to, the rap, not the rap, but like the corridor, not the, what's the word I'm looking for? Really what a fan seats at. I'm looking for the word. That area. I haven't been down there in a long time. I went to go holler at Mikey. Mikey has some good seats too, by the way. Mikey has some real good seats. I was like, damn, they look nice over there. But
He said, "Motherfuckers getting money over here."
yeah, right, exactly. So, when I was walking around the concourse, that's the word I was looking for. Walking around the concourse, seeing all the fans, I'm like, yo, win or lose, no matter what, this fan base is gonna always show up. And it kind of made me sad a little bit, like they're taking advantage of the fan base because they deserve to be a bigger product. Ryan Poles is a liar. And I don't care what people say about what I'm about to say, but he's a liar. He lied to our faces. We're gonna give the North and never give it back. All the stuff we've been hearing. Remember from the beginning of this year, this is the offseason of Ryan Poles, and he went up to the combine, filmed himself. He was at that exit press conference where he announced he's gonna keep Flus, filling himself, being on Hard Knocks. Oh, this is the deepest team I've ever seen. It's going to be hard to make this roster while he let Velus Jones make the roster again. And then saying, oh, it's time to win. He said that multiple times. Those are the last words that you heard from him on the final episode of Hard Knocks. Fast forward a couple months later, 4-7 right now. 5-game losing streak. Let's just be 100% real. It's going to be a 6-game losing streak in about 72 hours. Like, let's not even lie to ourselves. And this will be the second biggest losing streak of his tenure as Bears general manager. We get to get the infamous 10-game losing streak in 2000. Can you bring that comment up? That's bullshit. Bring that comment up real quick. The last one. Expectation never. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Y'all Bears fans got to stop with that. Expectations weren't realistic. Now that the roof didn't cave in. Everybody said that this team would be in playoff contention. I don't want to hear that shit. Get out of here with that. There were definitely.
Hey, wait, real quick, Scott. I'll go better. If you look at the games that we lost, we very well could be in that expectation
coaching,
range.
You're 7-4. But I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But back to Ryan Poles. You said this was going to be a season that we were going to win. And now you look at it. The main problem, which everybody saw coming a year ago when the 2023 season was still going on, get rid of Eberflus. And I'm not saying the players deserve to be off the hook. No, players go out there and play the game. They deserve blame for this as well. But if you look at all the Bears losses they've had this year, it has had something to do with coaching. Just look at the stats. Look at the records. He's 0-2 against the division right now, and it's going to be 0-3 in a couple days. And it goes back to Ryan Poles. As I was listening to Caleb Williams talk in his press conference yesterday, and he gave very glowing words about Thomas Brown. The rest of the offense has given glowing words about Thomas Brown. It's something that stands out to me right now in that locker room. I feel like it's two different locker rooms with two different vibes right now. I feel like the defense is really broken down and disappointed because they're supposed to be the stronghold of this team. And now they're just not. The offense feel like they've got new life. You know what I'm saying? Like, the offense feel like they've got new life because of who their new play caller is. And so as I sit there, and I'm listening to him say this, and I'm watching the game plan the last two games, and I'm just like, what was Shane Waldron doing? Which leads me back to Ryan Poles. What made you think this dude was the person to hire? Like, it's obvious that just off 2 games. It's distinct differences. He was playing around with his food for not 9 weeks, for 9 months from the day you hired him. And I remember that press conference when they announced they hired Shane Waldron. They were so happy and so proud of the extensive search that they led to find their offensive coordinator just to get rid of him midseason. It makes no sense to me, and it makes me weary or actually afraid of what's going to happen with this next coaching hire because Matt Eberflus is gone. He's gone. The Bears know. The Bears fans know they're gone. Bears players know he's gone. There's even a video of George McCaskey at a Bears tailgate yesterday talking to the fans, and fans are telling him fire Flus, and he just looks at them like, I know. Everybody knows. Flus himself knows he's dead man walking. He's probably put that nice house he has up on Zillow or something because he's not going to be there anymore. The question here and the problem I have right now, I'm scared that no matter how well Caleb's been playing, that they're going to hire the wrong dude again. I've said this time And time, again, is as hard of a time as this franchise has had to find a good quarterback. They've had just as hard of a chance finding an actually good coach. There are 3 good coaches in the history of this 105-year organization. Really 2 if you want to include just the modern era. No disrespect to George Halas, but in the Super Bowl era, they've only had 2 good coaches, Mike Ditka and Lovie Smith. And as great as Lovie Smith was, he was a company man. Let's keep it real. They saw what Mike Ditka was. They saw the loud, powerful personality, that kind of football guy that you knew, who was just as popular off the field as he was on the field. No matter said, yo, I know you had the greatest decade in modern Bears history where you won a Super Bowl. You went to 3 NFC championship games. You won the division 5 times. We don't want that anymore because of the loud personality. They let him lead the door in 1992, and they have not had a coach with a bravado and swagger or balls in a long time. And it's because of the front office. It's because of the ownership. They don't want that. Let's just look at the whole Thomas Brown, Shane Waldron thing again. Flus didn't want Thomas Brown because he didn't want somebody who would challenge him. Now that he's putting up numbers and it looks like his job is actually going to be gone, now he wants to go up there and take credit for that. I found that funny yesterday when he was asked a question about the offense looking better. We know it's a collaborative process. No, it's not. And then today, trying to take credit for the Thomas Brown thing. So my thing here to Ryan Poles, if you don't get it right, you're looking like you're on fraud alert. We're giving you all this love for the DJ Moore trade that ended up being Caleb Williams. Awesome trade, amazing trade. But there's 2 things can be true at the same time. That also saved you from a different way of building the team. They didn't get Caleb Williams. They were just all right because they were bad. They got it because they got a trade that really everybody would accept outside of the Panthers. I don't know why they did that. And you see the other holes on this team. Look at the question marks from the people he drafted. I love Jaquan Brisker. I love Kyler Gordon. Neither one of them are all pros. Neither one of them are Pro Bowl. They can't stay on the field half the time. What has he really done to give the praise that he's given? And I've watched it. And we're sitting up here. We're sitting there having the same conversations that we were having 12 months ago. Oh, let's look at the drafting. We're talking about coaching again. I'm tired of it. I'm really, really getting tired of it. And what I'm also getting tired of is certain media trying to get mad at fans because they want to see some light in the tunnel with the way Caleb Williams is playing. Number 1, the Bears never had a quarterback as good or as talented as Caleb Williams. Number 2, the fans have no say on wins and losses. As a fan, you want to find some type of happiness. So you want to find that in a quarterback that's actually playing well. Don't get mad at them saying, oh, it's about wins. Yeah, it is about wins, but the fans don't control wins and losses. Tell the ownership that. Tell the front office that. That has nothing to do with fandom. And we can sit up here and talk about how great Caleb Williams is, and I think he's having a good rookie season. I think he's going to finish even better. I think this kid is a stud. But if you don't have the right coaching, they're going to be those of franchise who not ruined them, because I think Caleb is beyond ruining at this point, but not getting everything they could out of him because you have idiots surrounding him. This is a big, big winner for this franchise. And I'll be honest, I have no faith in them getting it right. Any bit of bail that I used to shoot them is gone. It is completely gone. They need to get the job done, and that's ultimately on the McCaskies, Kevin Warren, and Ryan Poles. That is my opening sound off to begin this game, man. Let's get into the game reaction. The actual game itself, I picked them to win. I said they were going to win 2 more games this season. I still think they're going to win 2. I don't know which 2 now, but I know Bang and Mike, you said y'all had your hopes up. Reason I didn't is this. No part of me thought they were winning that game in overtime. I was just happy that Caleb was the one that got them to overtime. I was strictly, okay, I got my stats. I'm cool, whatever happens. And I also, I told Dante I'm not rooting for losses. There's a part of me that says Matt Eberflus doesn't deserve to win this game. I didn't want to give him any type of life because the idiots you got running this organization think, that's a big comeback win against a team that's right in the division hunt. I didn't want none of that. But outside of me not wanting it, the same mistakes keep happening. That kick was almost blocked again. Like, what are we talking about? After the way you blew it last week, that should have been topic of discussion all week. And he didn't even address it to the team today. Shout out to Jason Leisure for pointing that out. So there's no part of me that thought they was going to win. I was just happy that they actually got the stats for Caleb. I think Caleb is looking good, and it's going to get better and better from here on. But this team it's cooked. It's cooked, and I don't really have anything to say. We're saying the same things. I really feel like we're beating the dead horse. I come on this show every week, multiple times a week, talking about how trash they are. I'm tired of it. I have nothing to say on this game right now. I'm completely fed up. I'm gonna go to Mikey first. I know Mikey, you were at the game as well. Tell me what your reaction was to the game, what was going on, and also can you shed a little light on what the fans were saying and feeling during this game?
Yeah, for sure. Number one, the entire stadium hated Matt Eberflus. Like they hate Matt Eberflus. There were two times where the stadium erupted into boos directed towards him, and not going for it before the Cairo Santos block kick. They wanted him to go for it, and then that second time where they went for it on fourth down in it was on the opposite. It was on the south end zone, and that was the pass that they were rushed where Cairo ran onto the field. The offense was still out there. Cairo was still on the field. They kicked them out. Then Caleb came back, and it was kind of a rush throw. Keenan Allen, when you look back at it on tape, even if Keenan catches it, it's not a first down. But yeah, like you could tell, they want this guy gone. The other things I was just hearing from the fans and a lot of people from Minnesota were, at the game. It's not that far of a drive, but they really were tripping just off of the fact that like they're like it's 2024. We have to wait 25 minutes to take a piss. And I was like, yeah, like this is why we need a new fucking stadium. But as far as the game, I that was the best game that I've gone to as far as quarterback play from both sides. I was thoroughly impressed with Caleb Williams. Not only was it 1, 2, 3, get out, um, but the velocity on these passes that he was throwing downfield, these were some tight window fucking throws. The one to Keenan Allen, the Keenan Allen, which didn't end up being a completion. He half size too big of a foot. That was kind of like right in front of us. That was a fucking dime. The pass in between Van Ginkel to Cole Kmet was a fucking rocket. The play to DeAndre Swift was ridiculous. I literally almost dropped my fucking beer. Like it was crazy. So seeing that live, that was amazing. But then on the other side, I'm sitting with some Viking fans, and I got to be honest with you, I was thoroughly impressed with Sam Darnold. He made big throw after big throw after big throw. True story. I'm walking out of the concourse, and I bump into Travis Bajan, Tyson Bajan's dad, and he's like right here by me, and I just tell him I was like, crazy game, right? And then he literally says, he's like, man, Sam Darnold is a fucking savage. And it was true because, I mean, 6 completions of over 20 yards on this defense. And when we thought that our secondary, I know we're down Jaquan Brisker and Elijah Hicks, but we thought our secondary, was the strongest point of our defense, but they got absolutely cooked. Jordan Addison, grown man hands. TJ Hawkinson was literally non-existent until late in the into the overtime period where he literally him and Justin Jefferson had some huge receptions in that OT period. But just from the Bears standpoint, the one thing that the guys behind me kept saying is just like, we have a defensive head coach, and at every single moment that we kind of needed a stop, we couldn't. I was kind of tracking plays earlier today on the rewatch, and you're talking about the last 2 possessions for the Vikings. So that's the possession where they go and they kick the field goal to go up 27-16. That was an 11-play drive. Hold on, I got it right here. Broke ass phone. That was an 11-play drive for 63 yards. In that drive alone, they converted a 3rd and 13. They converted a 3rd and 12. Like that can't happen. And that was through the air. Especially, I had told the lady next to me, Sam Darnold got injured right in front of us, and I told the lady, she was like, "Oh fuck, Nick Mullins." A big thing that Vikings fans have is that they don't know if when Nick Mullins comes in, if his pass is going to be incompletion or turnover. Like there's no ifs or buts about it. They have no confidence in their backup. I literally told her, I said, "Listen, I'm a Bears fan. It's 3rd and 13. They're going to find a way to Nick Mullins hasn't thrown a pass all season. He's going to find a way to come in and pick this up. And that was exactly what happened. A 14-yard reception to Jordan Addison. And she just looked at me like I was fucking crazy. And I just told her, I was like, listen, like I know my team and I know what the staple is of Matt Eberflus defense and a lead defense. When it comes down to a one-score game and when it comes down to the fourth quarter, they're just going to give it up. So that was embarrassing. I thought offensively, that was outside of the Jaguars game. That was probably some of the best ball that I've seen offensively with just being able to move the ball. If you go back and look at the box score, Keenan almost had a hundo. DJ had over a hundo. Rome with some tough catches. Keenan had 60-something yards. DeAndre Swift had that big reception. So Caleb was able to put the ball all over, get into his playmakers' hands, and you could just see confidence. I wasn't really as down on him in OT when that sack that he took, that was in the end zone right there, and everybody was screaming that he had somebody open. I really couldn't see who was open because I was solely watching him and watching his feet. But he got us there, and he's a rookie, and those things are going to happen. But we've seen now 3 games against 3 teams that are going to, that are vying for playoff spots. The Commanders game, he was able to walk them down and we took the lead. The Packers game, he was able to get us down there, walk them down, get into field goal range, and something else happened. And then we saw him be able to get this team offensively. He didn't quit. I felt the defense had quit. He didn't quit when it came time, down 11, like he was still ripping the fucking ball. And those are the makings of a great QB and things to come down the road. I honestly just thoroughly impressed with it. Like it couldn't have gone any better from what I saw. Offensively with Caleb Williams, you want to take a couple of sacks back. The sack in OT, but even then, it was a booming punt. The first play of OT was a Darnold sack from Montez Sweat that had him at 2nd and 7, and the defense then went on to give up a 3rd and 10 completion. Then they got down to 1st and 20, got it down to 2nd and 11, and then another big completion to Hawkinson. The defense has just given up, and I think that's what we're going to see for the rest of the way. I think we're going to see an offense that could probably put up points and move the ball. With Caleb's increased confidence and now getting the ball into DJ Moore. But at this defense, I don't have any hope for this defense.
Very well said. Bang, man. What's your thoughts on what we saw yesterday? You said your hopes was up. I want to know why that was.
My hopes is always up for my team to win. I don't never want to go into a game where I'm just thinking that my team has no chance to win, even though if I pick them to lose. So if I see that my team got some dog in them, got some fight in them, my hopes is always going to get up. I'm not going to, just feel like they're not. I don't feel like that I'll be a true fan to not go for them when it's a situation where they are fighting their way back, especially when the team is better than their record suggests. But towards the end, as we always see, as we notice, that the Bears tend to falter in these moments. And that defense, which I said could be a top 5 defense at the beginning of the year, is really showing when you have a coach that is with the amount of pressure that Matt Eberflus has. You can tell that the pressure is getting to him when his side of the ball is now faltering. That defense did everything that they could to lose that game and put them out of position. The defensive line is struggled for the last couple of weeks. They said that that's something that they was going to show up or reset. You see, I'm sorry, man. As good as those linebackers are, we haven't been really seeing it this year either. JJ had a couple of situations where those were not except for that pass interference at the beginning of the game, towards the beginning of the game. Like for the most part, some of the stuff that's happened to him, even in that Green Bay Packers game, has really been like bad luck. I hated that tweet that Jaquan Brisker sent out talking about some y'all miss me. Do y'all miss me yet, nigga? Do you miss being healthy?
I was
Like,
about to
why?
say that
That's
nigga don't know what
right.
planet he on.
Like,
That's why he deleted the shit. I went back to
Yeah.
look for it, deleted it. But bang, while you on Jalen Johnson, let me ask you this. I rewatched the game. I felt that he was cheating and kind of trying to like get ahead. I felt like he was cheating on that play
He
where
was.
where Naylor scored the touchdown. And I feel like at that point it comes down to what these people have been saying. Details like do your job, stick on your man because you were cheating, trying to make a play, and it ended up costing 7.
Yeah, it's a lot of overcompensating.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overcompensating on. Let me just put it like this. What I learned from that game yesterday is from the stars of the team, it's a lot of overcompensating with some of those players. I think JJ is overcompensating. I want to say that the linebackers are doing that too because the defensive line is not really doing what they can. And the coaches are not putting them in position. I think it was you, Dante, or you, Mikey, that has said when Donald had got out, why you not blitzing? And I think that the team is noticing stuff like that too, because not only was Nick Mullins in the game, but the third string tackle was in the game also, and you didn't put any pressure on his side of the ball at all while he was in there. It's almost like Flus is not only coaching scared, but he's coaching to give niggas a chance to win.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I ain't gonna do that, man. I feel bad if I overload that side. Like, there's no killer instinct in his coaching. Not even like just being aggressive. There's no killer instinct when it comes to that, and the team has to overcompensate for that. But yet, when you hear everybody on the offensive side of the ball, it's starting to become a trend here. So I don't know if he's looking and he's seeing the writing on the wall. I don't know if he's just scared or that what it is, but it feels like to me that the players are overcompensating, and it's something that I've been saying for the past month. You can't outplay bad coaching. No matter how good you are, you can't play bad coaching because, like Mikey said, it's all about the details. And we're losing because of the details. We lost that game yesterday because of the details. Fuck you, B-Dot.
Shout out to B-Dot. Yeah, I gotta respect B-Dot's Packer fanism. You know what I'm saying? Because
nigga, I don't. He live in North Carolina. I don't,
yeah, but
Right.
I mean, but who you got to root for in North Carolina though?
should be a Jets fan or
Panthers?
some shit.
Now, he from Jersey, which is the funny part. Root for the Jets, nigga. Well, anyway, I also want to say this. I know this ain't got. I'm gonna be off topic all day. I'm reading more and more about this. Suing your own label, nigga. Like you going against white niggas' money. Like what are you doing?
Pavy made a great point. Who gonna go to jail? Lucy and Grange, nigga.
Like,
what
he's not
going
going to. That's like Logan Roy going to jail. He ain't gonna do nothing mess up his own stuff. Anyway, for those of you who are watching, I know people just added the chat. I am in awe. Okay, my hip hop bones right now are in shock of what we just saw. But we're gonna go right back to this football. Dante, man, give me your reaction of what happened yesterday with the Bears.
I think Mikey and I were on point with our assessment that the defense is not gonna play, too well for the rest of the season. I think that's the case. I hate to say it. I know I saw Lance Briggs talking about you don't want guys to, let go of the rope. I think they let that motherfucker go a couple weeks ago. I just think they're just ready for a new voice on that side of the ball. As for the offense, I liked what I saw. I mean, Caleb once again looked confident. He looked like he knew where he wanted to go, and when where he wanted to do wasn't there, he was either going to use his legs to get some yards or he was going to, get rid of the ball. He only got sacked 3 times, and the last sack was really the only sack where I was like, come on, bro, you can't take that sack. So, I mean, it's sad that we've gone from, playoff hopes and things like that to saying, we just focused on Caleb's development, but unfortunately that's where we are. So from that level, I was really excited about what I saw from Caleb, bro. He made some throws. I know Mikey talked about the tight window throw to Keenan. The throw that got us into field goal range, like these last 2, and even in DC when he got us to lead before we fucked it off. I see why, he rocks with Aaron Rodgers, because in those moments, like when they just tell him, like he said, Thomas Brown, shout out to Thomas Brown. When Thomas Brown says, go be Superman, these last few weeks, he's gone out there and confidently driven that team down the field. Like, all right, where I got to go, let's go get it. And we've seen him do that, and we've never seen a quarterback do that, just flat out, never seen it. So I'm really excited about that. So they lost, and I know, like you said, we're not rooting for losses, but I unfortunately am rooting for losses because, like I said, I want them to fire Mike Eberflus on Thursday. Like, I want him to go home and get that plate of food and sit down with his family and be disappointed that he no longer has a job. Like, I want the message to be
he gonna
delivered.
notice I called got my lawyers and I sued the Bears for RICO of me watching this football for the last 3 years, nigga.
But no, like that's what I want. So, like, unfortunately, until he's no longer in the building, I need the offense to look better and I need the team to lose. And so I think that's what we're gonna keep getting. And this Sunday, man, like the defense, you got your safeties playing man coverage, but they 15 yards off. Just insane shit. Like the third down. The matter of fact, the last drive in overtime, I think the Vikings had like 1st and 15, 1st and 20, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17, and they converted all of them.
It started off at 2nd and 17. The first play was a sack. You know, Montez Sweat had a sack, and that was the first play of OT. My bad. I saw that my laptop was down. I was like, oh shit.
I hate when my shit do that.
Right, but
it's done like Drake's hip hop credibility. Go ahead.
Well, that's dead.
It's done. I'm telling that's that nigga. I can't get over that.
He going full Post Malone, G. I told you. Second album coming soon. Honestly, never mind part 2.
Oh man! All right, so when we wait for Mikey to come back. I think he having technical difficulties. But let's go.
Real quick, I told my man Drake being the spook who sat by the door is hilarious.
The spook who sat by Universal.
Especially when he benefited from it, and when it didn't benefit him, he was like, "Fuck y'all."
OVO, Ozempic's very own. Drake, I'm telling Graham. I can't believe this. Biggie is rolling over in his grave. Jam Master Jay is rolling. Every hip hop legend is running. That's like Jay suing Hot 97 for debuting Ether. What are we doing?
This pathetic shit.
What are we doing, dog? And does he know what kind of lawyers Spotify and Universal have? Like, does he understand? Like, this can backfire. Anyway, oh my god, I cannot wait for Summer Sessions tomorrow. Subscribe to the Patreon. Subscribe to the Patreon right now because you're gonna want to listen to this next Summer Sessions when you're getting ready for Thanksgiving with your family. But we're gonna bring Mikey back in so he can finish his point before we move on.
Yo, y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. The one thing I was gonna say is I agree with y'all. And I'm with you, Dante. It's all about Caleb and his development. I only picked them to win one more game, and that was, what was that, 2 weeks ago? That was after the Patriots lost. But at what point are we just kind of like we are repeating the cycle? But at some point, I need to see them win. And I need to see them win because of Caleb, for his confidence, and for the guys such as DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Rome Odunze, DeAndre Swift, Darnell Wright, for the guys that are going to be here next year and going to be like a focal point of the offense. I need to see them actually do it, because being in these close games and putting up these numbers and all of that's cool. It shows you can play at this level, but you have to learn how to win. And unfortunately, under this coach, a large portion of this team for 3 years has not learned how to win. And now your rookie quarterback and, Rome and all these guys, they're once again now in that same pattern of not knowing how to win. Because what's going to happen is, and we're Bears fans, we know how this is going to go. They're going to fire the coach. They're going to hire a new coach and a new staff in January or February, whenever they complete their interviews and they land on their guy. Whatever Trace Armstrong guy is coming out, then they hire. That's what it's going to be. Then we're going to have to tell Bears fans to relax and calm down.
Because it's going to happen.
Because we have to see this coaching staff do it. So it's another wasted. So for me, I really wish they would have came back and won yesterday, because you have to have that in your back pocket. I know Caleb isn't broken. I know Caleb isn't rattled, but I know Caleb wants to do what he did yesterday in the offense, and Thomas Brown and all these guys, and then go back to the locker room and be like, yo, we got the dub. Like, we found a way to win, because next year is going to be tough. You Cowboys, Steelers, the division, it's going to be those teams that we're going to be playing again next year, and you got to find ways to win close games. And they've had 3 chances this year to win 3, specifically on the arm of Caleb Williams in the offense, and they haven't done it. They were in 1 possession game week 2 against the Texans. They were in a 1 possession game the following week against the Colts. Like, you have to start kind of cashing in on these for the long-term development of the staff, or for the quarterback and the offensive guys, because if not, like, it's going to be a learning period next year. And how much patience are fans going to have, and how much grace are we going to give them? They're going to say, "Oh no, Caleb, you got a better coach. You got to win." And we know that's not how it really works. But for their sake, I would love to see them play in a close game and beat a Niners team that's kind of shaky, and maybe beat, a Lions team at home, or the Seattle and Green Bay. Like, if they could find a way to get 3 more wins, I think it'll do more for the team and the quarterback's confidence going forward than a top 12 pick would.
I agree, but unfortunately for that will also help Matt Eberflus.
Nah, I think that shit is over for him, bro. You can't, because even
I
then,
hope so.
I think it's over for him. I think it's over for him, bro. Because at this point, like, you have all of the data, like, you have everything you need to move on from him. There's nothing. Even if they find a way to get 3 more wins, 7 and 10 does not save your job when you go back and look at how we got to 7 and 10. Just a couple weeks ago, you were in London, Scott, and we were 4-2, coming off of a 30-something point game.
Yeah,
and it was
me, Dante, and my brother were drinking Kerry Bradshaw drinks.
Y'all were FaceTiming me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all FaceTime me, and
Mikey.
And we were like, okay,
y'all FaceTime Mikey, but y'all ain't FaceTime me.
We knew that you was probably with the kids, nigga.
Get up and walk out.
I went. He was like, "You being a family man, man."
Nigga, I was asleep.
I knew Mikey.
That's this week. That's this week's version of Courtney finding out there's another group chat.
All right, man. Let's move on to our next topic, man. I want to talk about Caleb and the offense, man. They put up 27 points this week, pretty good. Caleb Williams, I believe this is his best game as a pro. I know I said that last week, but he got an end zone this week. He went 32 of 47, 340 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Had 33 yards on the ground off 6 carries, and the offense just looked fluid. Now, worse with stalled drives, I think they had a lot to do with execution. Of course, those things can get better. I thought Caleb was excellent. Obviously, I can't give him a pass for that terrible sack he took in overtime that took them out of range to win that game. But he's a rookie. He makes rookie mistakes. I know it's gonna sound like I'm like giving him a pass, but it was phenomenal. I loved what I saw, and I feel like it's making the game easier. The Caleb I saw a couple weeks ago at Hallis looked very dejected, and I was very worried. He's starting to have the same look that Justin had, the look that Mitch had, and I was worried that they might be doing it again. But the switch to Thomas Brown, I feel, saved the trajectory of his personal season. And it just makes it easier. And the way that he talks about Thomas Brown, the way that the players talks about Thomas Brown, it's like a breath of fresh air. And he's making the game easier for him. And what I have been yelling from the mountaintops since like week 3, run. When there's not a play open, run. And you can also see the offensive line doesn't look as bad when you're getting the ball out quick, when the scheme makes sense, when the play calling makes sense. He only got sacked twice yesterday, and one of them was on him. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And it's just, I was thinking, how different would this season be if the season started with Thomas Brown as the offensive coordinator? They probably still would have lost a couple games because Flus is an idiot. But just offensively, go back to the Houston Texans game they lost. How much more that they could have done on that final drive to win that game. People forget it was a 6-point game with the Bears having a chance to win the game. How differently would have looked week 1 against that defense against Tennessee. How differently would have looked against Indianapolis. They'd have won that game. They wouldn't have won a stupid 4th and 1. They'd have won in Washington. There's so many different play calls that Shane Waldron made that we know Thomas Brown weren't going to do. And what impressed me the most about this, both from Caleb perspective and but Thomas Brown perspective, it was against this really good Minnesota Vikings defense. Brian Flores makes rookie quarterbacks like rookie quarterbacks. That was not the case. Caleb looked in control. They took what the defense gave them. They didn't force downfield shots. And what I loved was the tight window throws. That was elite quarterback stuff where it looked like it was going to be an interception, but he got it out super quick and got it in those tight windows to DJ Moore, to DeAndre Swift, to Keenan Allen twice. It was just love to see that. And, I feel you, Mike, we said you need a win for the offense, but I actually feel the offense is fine. Not to say that a win wouldn't help, that I'm way more worried about the defense confidence, because being around the offense, it just feels like and I don't say they're ignoring the record, but it feels like it's a new season for them, but it's not for the defense, kind of. Now, I do believe a win can help them for sure, and I hope they get a couple for that. But I think that this offense knows that, look, if we don't have this idiot that we have for 9 weeks, we're in a different position. So I love what I saw from Caleb. I think he's going to do even better the rest of the year with Thomas Brown. But as far as Thomas Brown, if it keeps going this way, and I'm not going to crown him yet, still got 6 more games left. If it continues the offense to be this potent, he should get a job interview for the Bears for the head coaching spot. And then go even further. If they get lambasted in 72 hours, like probably will happen, fire Matt Eberflus during the mini bye, and that's the best audition you can have right there. That's the best job interview you can have, by actually putting him on the job, Thomas Brown, and having him actually show you what he can do. So I loved what I saw from both of them.
Scott, remember, he's going to get an interview anyway. He's black.
You know what I mean? Besides the Rooney Rule, like an actual shot. Yeah, like an actual chance. Not the Rooney Rule interview when we got to interview this nigga, but an actual chance to be the coach is what I mean.
Yeah, still got my money on Joe Brady.
I wouldn't be mad at Joe Brady, but go ahead. What would you think about Thomas Brown and Caleb?
See, I'm hedging my bet because it's 2 games. I like the confidence and I like the aura and shit, but it's been 2 games. Like we had the Green Bay game, which if as long as we didn't get our ass beat, we was gonna feel good about the situation. But then we had the game yesterday where Caleb goes off, so to speak, and he had a game and no interceptions, even though he probably could have had like at least 2 of them joints too. So everything looks good. What happens against Detroit? What happens against Minnesota at home? What happens against, even though they're injured and everything, what happens against San Francisco and Seattle with the 12th man? What happens against Green Bay again? I'm hedging my bet because it's two games. Like, I'm not about to get in a situation where, I like everything that I see because, she's the baddest bitch right now in front of me. But then when shit start hit the fan, that bad bitch ain't as bad as you thought it was. So I'm hedging my bet, but I like what I see with these next 2 games. It's not enough for me to be like, yo, give him the reins, because if he has the reins, then that means he can't work as closely with Caleb because he has to worry about the whole entire team for 6 more games. So if this is what we can get, let's see what the audition looks like as you look at the offense, not as you look at the whole team. Because if you fire Matt Eberflus and give the reins to him, then you take all of that, give it to somebody else.
I agree with that. I'm with you. I'm not crowning him yet, but I'm just saying if it continues.
Yeah. Even if it continues, they went there like even
if it continues, you don't think he should be considered to actually fill the position?
I mean, he should get an interview. Like I said, he gonna get an interview because he's black. Like, he's going to get an interview, so he's technically going to be considered. But there's other candidates that's out there who's probably even been in better positions throughout the whole year. Like Joe Brady. Look at what Joe Brady has done with Josh Allen. Look at what Liam Cohen has done with Baker Mayfield. There's other candidates that's out there. I'm just hedging my whole bet because of what we see now. Like, just because we see what we see these next 2 games, that don't mean we give him the job. Like, nah, I'm cool off all of this shit. I need to see it consistently. Now, if we are at the last game of the season and Caleb looks magnificent, even in losses and shit, then I could be like, I think we need to look at that shit. Not after 2 games, after what some of these, you saw what Liam Cohen and Baker Mayfield did yesterday.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying.
I'm just saying. I'm talking to the people. Like, y'all see that shit?
Right.
Y'all see what Joe Brady has been doing all this year? Like, let's hold off. Let's wait.
All right. I hear you. I definitely hear you. Josh McCown. I don't want to hear any Josh.
Oh, hell no. You stop that
shit.
no.
Yeah, but
ahead,
I mean, this is my thing real quick. The only advantage I think Thomas Brown has is the fact that he's already in the building. So that's why I keep saying, like, give him the opportunity now. So if he clicks with Caleb and Caleb comes to you and says, like, nah, bro, I want to build with him, you let that happen. Like, I don't think this is a situation where you should try to overrule your young quarterback because you sat here and tried to put him in the best position possible. So if he comes to you and says, hey, no, I like this guy. I like what we got brewing. I think they got to let that rock in some capacity. And also off the strength that they interviewed Thomas Brown for the offensive coordinator position, that lets me know that they have faith in him to at least lead a position group. So again, get Flus the fuck out of there and see what this dude can really do and then go from there.
Mikey, what's your take on the situation and what you saw from them yesterday?
Yeah, I would do that. I think we still kind of like Banks said, you still got to pump the brakes. It's only been 2 weeks. Last week they only scored 19 points. This week, they still only had 10 points. Going into the fourth quarter, it took some crazy shit to happen to get that 17 to force OT. But I'm not really kind of like leaning either way. I do agree with Dante. I think if we lose Thursday, which we more than likely will, in a fashion in which the defense is embarrassed again. Mind you, the Lions are embarrassing everybody on their offensive side. But if they do it to Flus again, I think we probably get an alert that he's fired by Saturday. And maybe you allow somebody like Eric Washington, kind of like a senior head, somebody, a coach with a little bit more chops in the game, to take over the whole operation, and you allow Thomas Brown to still kind of rock out as OC because he's building something. In the end, I don't think Thomas Brown will be under real consideration to be a head coach next year for the Chicago Bears. I think they go the veteran route. I think Kevin Warren is going to have a real big kind of like voice on going with that. But he's auditioning for offensive coordinator roles, all over the league next year, and there's going to be plenty of openings. So I think right now they're just both in a beneficial spot. He needs to boost his resume as an OC right now, and working with the number 1 pick and getting him right is there's no better opportunity.
Definitely, man. Let's move on to Kevin Warren, the winter of Warren, as I want to call this. It's something I found very interesting. I was watching Colin Cowherd's NFL recap last night. And I forgot what his co-host's name is. I wish I remember. But his co-host, they were talking about the Bears, and they were talking about Kevin Warren. And his co-host said something that stood out to him was that when he watched Hard Knocks and when they assigned DJ Moore to that extension, Kevin Warren was going over the numbers of from Ryan Poles. He's like, yeah, this is good. That's good. He said that's something that was a red flag to him because it feels like maybe he has too much control in it. And I thought that was interesting to take from a national perspective because us on the Chicago media side, us and the Chicago fans, we're like, we don't know how much control he has. What is he doing? What isn't he doing? And he feels like somebody who's an overbearing president or CEO wouldn't be good. While some Bears fans were thinking that maybe that would be good if we know what he's doing. And I also had a different conversation at the press box. In the press box, I won't say who was with. I don't know if they want me to reveal we had this conversation. We were talking about the stadium, and this person was saying that he thinks that the Bears being sorry in this record they have has a lot to do with people not wanting to pay taxes for the stadium, that they'll be a lot more willing to pay that if this was a good product. And I kind of agree with that a little bit. Not to say that it would 100% fix the problem, obviously, because when you build stadiums and stuff, a lot of it doesn't have really that too much to do with the product on the field or on the court. But I do think that would help a lot. And so I think that this upcoming winter is going to be very interesting because you've got Kevin Warren where, you go out there, he was saying the same crappy things that Ryan Poles is saying. We're going to win not just championship, we're going to win championships. And, boasting this whole thing and, how they want this, how much he loves Chicago, but you're allowing this stuff go under your watch. What's he going to do? What's going to be his power that he's going to, put himself into as far as like finding a new head coach, maybe finding a new GM? We don't know. Ryan Poles was not his hire. What's going to be his involvement in that? Also, this actual stadium. We've actually seen actual improvement with these other stadiums that are going to be getting worked on. Buffalo, Cleveland's going to be working on theirs, and nothing from the Chicago Bears. They're stuck in the same situation when she was brought over. One of the main reasons to help with the stadium project. So I feel with Kevin Warren, I hear what Colin's co-host was saying, and Colin even said a little bit about that too, that he's heard from people that he is a little bit of somebody who people don't really like working with like that. I don't really know, because we don't really know that much about Kevin Warren. He goes out there, and when he does speak to the media, I call him TED Talk Kevo. Sound like I'm watching a TED Talk. I know nothing about this man besides the fact that, he worked with Minnesota Vikings. He was the Big Ten commissioner and things like that. That's it. So I feel like that's the big question mark that I feel could go either really, really right, or could go to what Colin was saying, could go really, really wrong. Mikey, I know you've had takes on this as well. What do you think about the Kevin Warren, what's on the table for Kevin Warren this year? Do you think that him being involved, if he is heavily involved, is a good thing or a bad thing? And do you think that the record has anything to do with maybe speeding up these stadium talks?
Yeah, I saw him yesterday in his fucking kingpin black pinstripe fucking suit yesterday. He was chopping it up with all the people from the Vikings. I wanted to yell something to him, but I wanted to, actually watch the game and not get escorted. But I think honestly, the way this season has gone, Ryan Poles kind of like lost a little bit of his juice to be able to make all decisions without really kind of being checked. I think Kevin Warren does kind of have to lean on some of his senior people, and his relationships within the NFL and be involved. And the contract situation with him kind of looking it over, I really don't read that much into it, just because everybody has the checks and balances at his job. At the end of the day, Kevin Warren is Ryan Poles' boss. And it kind of goes up there. Kevin Warren is the one that signs is gonna kind of be pushing it forward to payroll to get those checks signed. That's not Ryan Poles. But in the end, I think he does need to be vocal. I think you cannot. And if I'm Ryan Poles, I lean on him too, because this next decision that Ryan Poles makes will determine whether he is a GM in Chicago or in the NFL for the next 3 to 4 years, or if he's not and he's back to kind of working back at a house in the front office somewhere. As far as the stadium talks, I mean, Lori Lightfoot ain't never lied when she said back in the day, when it first came that they bought Arlington Racetrack, and she said, maybe the Bears need to focus on being relevant after October and worry more about the product on the field than the stadium. At the end of the day, it don't matter if they were 17-0. Fans in the city and residents of Cook County, they don't have the appetite to pay. These people are billionaires. They got money, especially now with PEs. You can go ahead, sell a small percentage, get somebody with a bag, come in here and and help get that stadium going in Chicago if you really want it. My last point on this, and from yesterday, the Wolf family, Ziggy Wolf and his brother, the owners of the Vikings, were right next to me at the tunnel. And I just found it so fucking crazy that there's these billionaires that have no care in the world, and they were fucking livid with what was going on the football field as the Bears were coming back. And Ziggy was just pacing around and fucking saying fuck. And I just thought it was cool to be like, damn, these motherfuckers have unlimited wealth and they're tripping over the same football game that I am.
Bang, man, what you think about that? Like you said, you've been wanting to hear from TED Talk Kevo. What you think about, his involvement, whether it be a good thing or a bad thing, and do you think record has anything to do with speeding up the stadium talks?
No, I don't think that the record has anything to do with speeding up the stadium talks, for the simple fact that business is business, and business is going to be booming no matter what, right? Unless you are the New England Patriots back in 1991, business is going to be booming, no matter what. I think from a football perspective, I think now you need to hear him. You need to hear him now because he's the leader of the ship. I think TED Talk Kevo is getting away with the fact that everybody knows or believes that the McCaskies are in power and they will always be in power. He's getting away with that. You've told us on many occasions, like, no, it's his show. But people will never believe that until they sell the team. So he could get away with that. With that being said, though, he is the rightful person who's leading the ship. So you need to hear from him. And as long as you don't hear from him, and not hear from him in a TED Talk way, like really what it is, don't sugarcoat it. Then we'll always feel that. This is why I believe that the Bears need a football leader of the organization. I don't see Ted Talkevo as the leader of football operations. I see him as the leader of business operations. I see him as the replacement, the true replacement of Ted Phillips. And Ted Phillips ain't no shit about football. He leans on his general manager. So they need a true VP of football operations who's going to lead that talk. And then they have that conversation. Until that happens, Ted Talkevo is on you to speak up.
So you saying that they need another football guy to go along with Kevin
They
Warren?
need a leader of football operations. The person that's going to lead what goes on the field, who's going to lead football inside the lines and on that sideline operations.
And
That's normally
got
how some of these good teams have it lined up. You have your owner, you have your president of football ops, and then you have your GM.
in the words of Roland Weebay Bryce in season 4 of The Wire, you asking too much.
Oh, I know. That's why I said until then, Ted Talkevo got to be Ted Talkevo and talking this bitch.
Yeah. But Dante, what's your thoughts on everything Kevin Warren?
I think we know too much about Kevin Warren.
Think we know too much?
In the sense that, like, well, I should say we talk about Kevin Warren too much.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
For the really great teams, you don't really talk about the president of football operations every fucking time we talk about the team. But every time we talk about the Bears, it turns into a conversation about Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles. And so that usually means somebody's not doing their job. So, like, at this point, I'm tired of hearing about the nigga. Like, get us a stadium somewhere. Like, you know, even with the news today about them getting the tax deal done, you still saying you want to put $2 billion on the lakefront when the city has pretty much told you no. So I'm at the point where it's like, if you're going to continue to do this, then the results have to immediately change. And I'm talking about, like, obviously we've sold on this season, but next season you got to see, 10, 11 wins on this football team just off the strength of the way they're moving. And it's because you came in with this arrogance. We played the clip at the beginning of the episode, even though that was Poles and not Warren. But Warren, as you said, Scott, has been echoing the same things. It's time to win now. We about to do this. We about to do that. You're not doing none of that. So, yep. I mean, for me, I feel like we just hear about him too much. So I think it's an important someone, but important in the sense that we need him to get shit done and legitimately just shut up. Like, I don't want to have to be waiting for, a Kevin Warren press conference. I want to see you put shovels in the ground. I don't like the rest of this stuff we doing. I think I'm just kind of fed up with all this shit with the Bears. It's always something as opposed to just letting them just flow like a, functioning organization in 2024.
And Dante, that's my whole point. We should not be hearing about anything Kevin Warren if you got a true leader for the football side. We don't really, let's be real. Do we really give a shit about this whole stadium shit? We only give a shit because there's no other level. Like, he is in control of everything. So since that's the case, we got to hear about that shit. We care about the product that's on the field. That's why you need a football leader, and let that nigga talk. And then that other nigga do what you just said. I'm going to sit up in the corner. I'm going to go chill. I'm going to go make sure this stadium get there. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to go make sure we make the money. Kevin Warren is the money man. We don't never hear about the money man. We don't never hear about the plug. Kevin Warren is at this point is the plug. We don't hear about him, and we don't hear about the people that's up top. We hear about everybody else. That's why we need somebody that leads everybody else. I hate to say what I'm about to say. But if y'all love Ryan Poles that much, You promote him to VP of football operations.
Mm.
And you promote Ian Cunningham if you love him that much. If the organization is in love with him that much,
Okay, I get what you're
that's
saying.
what you do.
I get what you're saying.
If you don't, you go hire a nigga that's gonna hire another nigga. But if you love Ryan Poles that much, VP of football operations, Ian Cunningham is your GM. There you go.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's why I said. That's why last week I was like, we talk about firing Ryan Poles, but like his replacement might be in the building. Like with everything you hear about Ian, how thirsty are you for that compensatory pick? If you got a guy who's going to help you build this team, who's already been here and knows what's going on, that's a lot. That's a quicker transition right there.
One of my mentors knows Ian Cunningham. She talks highly of this man. She told me about when Ryan Poles was like, don't get up on that plane. Come back over inside. She talks highly of this man and how smart he is. His replacement might be his replacement might be in the building. Ian Cunningham, for everything that we know, was a big part of why Philly was successful. And they continue to be successful. So if you're going to do it, just do it right.
It's Dante, you remember that burger page when we were talking about like White Sox baseball stuff and they would like kind of drop in like one of them insiders. Remember like they were trying to kind of it was like a hamburger or Portillo's or some shit, and like a lot of the shit ended up being true. There's one out there right now for the Bears, and it kind of just popped up today, and he's kind of dropping some interesting nuggets to see. We'll follow it. I bookmarked it just to follow it, but basically Warren won if Fluke's gone, Cunningham won if Fluke's gone. It's been Poe's decision, and that they're 100% decided on firing him, but they're kind of gonna give Poles one last shot to get this right. But we'll see, how that shit goes.
Where's that from?
I'm gonna send it to you right now. I know Braggs is following it. He kind of retweeted it today, but it's one of those like burner pages that claims to have, like whatever shit. It was kind of like back when you were a White Sox fan, Scott, and we used to follow the Portillo's joint. That's how it was.
And them Portillo's niggas were never right.
No, they were right. They were right when it came to fucking to Adam Eaton-Ass and Andrew Benintendi, unfortunately.
We're gonna do a quick preview of this Lions game because we do gotta move on. But Bears Lions on Thursday, the first game of a Thanksgiving triple header. There's another sorry game after that is Cowboys Giants. And then of course Packers we playing the Dolphins in Lambeau. But the Lions are 10.5-point favorites at home at Ford Field. The Bears, both the games gonna be their second in 4 days. The Lions are 10-1. 10-1. It wasn't a pretty win yesterday, but a win is a win. They got a dub over the Indianapolis Colts. Their offense looks amazing. They look like they're trying to get it back. Get them back for how they lost last year in the NFC Championship game, man. This game to me is very simple. I don't think we need to spend too much on this game. I think one or two things happens. I think they either get their ass kicked or they actually win the game. I don't see a situation where and I thought it was going to be a close game at first. It'll either be a close game and they win or they get their ass whooped. I am taking the other route. I originally said, it's going to be a close game. But then I've been watching these last couple games. As better and as good as the Dolphins it's gotten better. But there's still too many droughts to where a team as offensively potent as the Detroit Lions that will expose that. Before you know, you look up and it's 17-0, 21-0. And I think that's going to be the reason that they're going to get blown out. I do think the defense isn't all that, even when they were healthy. I didn't think it was that great of a defense. I do think there'll be plays to be made for Caleb Williams and this offense, and I do think they're going to make some plays. I do think half of these points that I'm about to say they're going to have will be garbage time, but I do believe there will be some points to be made. I've got the Lions because I think what Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery about to do to this defensive team is illegal in 49 of the 50 states. I'm going to say Lions 42, Bears 24. Bears will get a lot of garbage time points, but that's how I got this one going. Bang, how you got this one going on Thursday?
It ain't really nothing to discuss about the X's and O's. Detroit 45, Bears 10. and Matt Eberflus will be fired on Friday.
That's a good one. Oh, so fire. Let's ask that too. I will say this: I do believe that he'll be fired on Friday if they get blown out. I have nobody telling me this, but I don't think they can let this go on any further. I believe if they get blown out, that he's fired. Mikey, give me a score, and does Eberflus keep his job after this game?
37-17, Lions. I think Eberflus gets fired on Saturday. The Bears are 0-14 in the last 14 games where they're 10-point underdogs or more. So this is going to continue, but I think he gets fired on Saturday. I don't think they do it Thursday. I think they give him the day Friday. I think Saturday, 12 p.m., we get that news drop.
Dante, score, and does Matt Eberflus's Hallis Hall ID work by the end of the weekend?
I'm going 42-24 Lions. And as Virginia sits in that luxury suite with the other old owner of the Lions, and Shorty look over and smirk at her as they kicking our ass, I think that's finally going to be the last straw, and we're going to get brought up out of here. So I think I'm with Mikey. They'll give him Thursday. Go be with your family, enjoy yourself. But I think Friday we get the call for Friday night that he's no longer the coach of the Chicago Bears. So he definitely gets fired. But I'm going 42-24.
Me and you had the same score, 42-24. They're gonna let him eat with his family and have one last Thanksgiving dinner in that nice house.
I want to say, take one last stroll down, take one last ride down Lakeshore, nigga.
Exactly. And also, get your Black Friday purchases in that you're gonna need because you got to be unemployed. And then Saturday it's a wrap. So that's all we got on the local hour. We're gonna take a quick 1 minute break.
That was the local hour.
There we go. We're gonna take a quick 1 minute break. Be back. We're gonna do Overreaction Monday. Then we're gonna have Pavy join, and then after that, hour 3, Courtney's gonna join, and we're gonna talk a little bit of college football and preview Week 13 in the NFL. Man, we'll be right back.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
Hey, yo, Bang, you remember you seen Beef 1, right?
It's been a while, but yeah.
You've seen it. Remember when they were talking about Irv Gotti was talking about 50 put a not cease and desist, but restraining order.
Restraining order.
Curtis Jackson, aka I'm telling.
Yep.
I'm saying it every time I see Drake now. Aubrey Graham, aka I'm telling.
I'm going back and forth with our man's A+. I told A+, we ain't gonna get no label hoodies no more. Like
shout out my nigga A+, man.
Yeah, all these hoodies that we get when we be going to our meetings and shit, we ain't getting no more swag from the labels. We ain't getting no more hoodies, no more Def Jam, nothing, no Interscope, nothing. Cause Drake, we ain't getting none of that. It's dead out in these streets.
Lucien finna shut the block down.
No swag bags.
Finna have nigga on the chitlin circuit. That's the reason that nigga's going to Australia. But tell A+, I said what up. But
I got you.
It's time for one of my favorite segments on the show, Overreaction Monday, where I give my thoughts or observations from the weekend, and I ask my esteemed panel whether or not I'm overreacting. We're going to start off with something that a couple weeks ago, a lot of people looked like this wouldn't even be close, and that is this battle between, I wouldn't say it's a battle, but they're going to be compared to each other because they are the number 1 and number 2 draft picks in the 2024 draft. That is the battle between Caleb Williams and one Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels has cooled off over the last couple of weeks. You will not fool me. Check down, Charlie, but we're not here to do that. But my overreaction, if you look at the stats, I got a little bit of numbers right here. And this is just off passing, by the way. Jaden Daniels, through 11 games, he has not missed a game, has 2,613 yards passing, 12 passing touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, with a 97.6 QB rating. Our guy, Caleb Williams, in the same 11 games, he has 2,356 yards passing, about 300 less, 11 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Same amount of interceptions, 1 less touchdown. The offense has been different. Feels like the Bears' offense is going up a little bit, and it feels like a little bit the Commanders is coming down. Looks like Cliff Kingsbury is getting back to late season Cliff Kingsbury. My take, y'all can say if it's overreaction or not, Caleb Williams will finish with better passing numbers with Jaden Daniels by the end of the season. Mikey, overreaction or no overreaction? You're on mute.
That's a fine. Overreaction. I really don't see it. Even then, Jaden Daniels has him locked up pretty much on the completion percentage. He's almost 5 points higher than him. He's still completing at a 68% clip. I just don't see how he can kind of make up for those yards. I know it's 26-13 to 23-56. Okay. Maybe if Caleb could put up a couple more of these 300-yard passing games like we seen yesterday. But nah, I really don't see it. Even the passing touchdowns. You're looking just off passing stats. You're not looking at like overall total stats on none of that.
No, I don't. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here to instigate. Only passing.
You're here to instigate. Yeah, I see you picking on Jaden Daniels, but we letting Bo Nix slide, and Courtney might have been right on that one.
I get Courtney love. Bo Nix is my offensive rookie of the year now.
Yeah. Bo's killing it. I didn't even see that he had 4 rushing TDs, so he's got 20 total and 6 picks. But I don't think Caleb is gonna catch up. Just because you also still have you have a scary ass head coach who at times is probably gonna take the ball out of his hands and make him run some when he should throw some. And we know how that is. When you have a coach coaching for his job and for the security and future of his NFL, employment, scary shit happens. So I just don't see it. I think they're gonna still play conservative with Caleb. I think Daniels, in this playoff push is gonna have to push the ball down the field and he'll end up with better passing numbers.
Bang, overreaction or not, that our guy Caleb is going to finish with better passing numbers than Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I think that's a smooth overreaction. I think that shit is dead, especially with the teams that Caleb has to go against in these next couple of weeks. I just don't see that happening right now. Hell, just look at how that game ended with the Cowboys. Like when you sent us that text, that man had 94 passing yards. And as soon as you sent us that text, that shit changed.
There's LeBron stat pad known. I feel good.
It wasn't no padding. They almost won that goddamn game.
Watch the LeBron. LeBron in the fourth quarter, even though it's completely different, but fuck LeBron. I just want to get out of it. LeBron, when they lose by like 15 in the fourth, he's going to go into just keep Akron mode, make the stats look better. I watched a lot of Laker games the last couple of years. I see what's going on. Go ahead.
But yeah, we're going to have to wait till next year for that, though, man. Caleb started off too slow. Jaden got him.
Dante, are you on my side or am I overreacting? Will Caleb Williams finish with better passing numbers than Jaden Daniels?
No, you're tweaking, my boy. I think we've seen the improvements from Caleb, but I think he won't catch up. Just off not only both schedules, but just the offenses. Is he getting a lot of yak? Yes, absolutely. But the game is the game, dog. I think at the end of the day, Caleb's going to end with some pretty respectable numbers, but I think Jaden numbers are going to be just slightly better, especially touchdowns.
I think I'm sticking with my take. I think he is going to finish with better passing numbers than Jaden Daniels. I'm staying there. We're going to come back week 18. Maybe I'll be right. Maybe I won't. I think I will be. I got a feeling I will be. I just really like where this. I'm not talking about team wins, none. I'm just going strictly off. I think he got a couple more big games in him, but. My next take, we're going to go to the NFC South. We just talk about Liam Cohen and how that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense has been looking. They had a good night yesterday, good afternoon in the Meadowlands yesterday by beating the New York Giants. And Malik Neighbors having pretty much I think we all expected his rookie year was going to be like that. He was going to be very fed up real soon about that. But my take, if you look how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been, Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, they are in the standings at number 2 in the NFC South with a 5-6 record. But look at this upcoming schedule that Tampa Bay has. They've got the Panthers coming up. Panthers have been playing better, but you got the Raiders out there, Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers again, and Buccaneers. My take is, and if you look at how the Falcons have been looking over the last couple games, The Falcons have a tougher schedule. They've got the Chargers coming up this week. They've got the Vikings after that. Of course, they got the Raiders, Giants, 2 easy games. Then they got the Commanders, and then they got closed out the Falcons. My hot take is that the Buccaneers going to come from behind and steal this division from the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to go to you, Dante. Do you think that's something that can happen, or you still think that Atlanta can hold it down?
No, I think it's very possible simply because I've been saying this all season. Atlanta's front seven is ass. Like they have not, shown any improvement. Linebackers play soft. They don't get any pass rush. So I think at the end of the day, that's gonna come back to bite them. And even if the offense continues to shine, I've been talking about how Mooney has had a great season. Him and Drake I think they're still like the only wide receiver tandem with 600 yards, 5 touchdowns a piece. And so, they're going to build on that for the rest of the season. But I think at the end of the day, if the Bucs can get healthy, I'm not sure when is Mike Williams coming back. Not Mike Williams, Mike Evans.
Out week 11. They originally said week 11. It's not.
Wait, Mike Evans ain't play yesterday.
He did play yesterday.
Yeah, I thought he played with no restrictions.
Oh,
back.
Well, he back.
Okay, well Mike back.
Yeah.
Mike back. Then I think this even more likely.
Yeah, Godwin is the one that's gonna be out for the year.
Yeah,
Godwin's the one out for the
Orlando,
year.
that is a great question. I know Bijan, but they like Tyler Algier. That's why they don't use Bijan like that. They don't want to make
Mike Evans did play 5 receptions, 68 yards.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mike. But no, that's why, because they got Tyler Algier, so they just use a 2-back system to keep Bijan fresh.
What do you think has been the problem with the Falcons? Because I feel like they got off to a hot start. Kirk was looking real good. Now it's starting to look like that Achilles is on fire again.
Yeah, well, I mean, they played, I didn't expect them to get blown out in Denver. I knew the Denver game was going to be tough. But I think more than anything, it's just, one of those things where it's a 17-game season, and I know we hang on every week like that. And so with Kirk was, I ain't even gonna say Kirk was on fire like that, because he was playing well. But when you go back and look at those games, like there were plenty of plays where he should have been picked off. There were plenty of decisions that he made that was like, I don't know why you did that. But I mean, at the end of the day, you still at a point where you're in first place, you're coming off a bye, and you could really reset this shit. So I think it's really up to what the head coach Raheem Morris wants to do, bro. Like, cause the game against Denver, I really didn't understand some of the shit that they did. And like that's been the thing with him, just him getting comfortable as the head coach here down here in Atlanta. And pretty much Orlando's point, Kirk is Kirk. You're gonna get good Kirk, you're gonna get bad Kirk. But 9 times out of 10 until the playoffs or until a primetime game, you're gonna have a solid Kirk. So they're gonna always be in position. And that's why I think the Bucs will be able to overtake them this year. Because I mean, with the inconsistency that you expect from Kirk Cousins, I think as long as they get hot at the right time, they'll win the division. It's gonna be tough though, because the Falcons beat them. So that's gonna be the tough part.
They got to finish with a better record. Man, do you think it's an overreaction to say that the Buccaneers can come in and swoop this division away from the Falcons? Oh, that's a fine. By the way, we're debuting the fine sign next Monday. Your mic is not working again.
He gonna try to play with the mic and shit. Like, oh man, what the fuck?
By the way, I've just been our super producer Nikhil. We're debuting the fine sign next week. The
Orlando,
fine,
no. You got at least one more year before you see Michael Penix, unless Kirk just looks like dog shit.
I think Bang got to restart or something, but because it might be the AirPods. We can't hear nothing you saying, dog. We can't hear nothing else. It's funny with somebody looking like, what's going on? What's going on?
This is one of the few times Bang actually looks like an old nigga, and like he's like, what? Press what?
I got it. What you plug in the Bluetooth?
Well, he didn't turn that mic all the way around. We cannot hear you, bro.
We cannot hear you. No, we can't hear nothing. It's like none at all. See if you can lock. We come back in, come back out. So he said Bang. We said Bang, wrench around and hit unmute. we gonna go to the next topic, man. As we wait for Bang's audio issues to clear up. He said he finna turn everything off. Elder abuse. Hey, Bang, when you come back, that wasn't me saying these things about you. It says you're unmuted, Bang, if you're listening. I'm going to text on that. But let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles in my next overreaction. They are 9-2 right now. Had a big win yesterday at SoFi Stadium that looked like Lincoln Financial Field West, which every game in
Fuck
LA
Orlando.
looks like. Yeah. Well, go ahead. Go answer the question about the Bucks real quick.
Real quick, nah, I don't think it's an overreaction. Atlanta been playing huff these last couple of weeks. They defense, they already needed some help on the defensive line. They definitely need it now. And Tampa Bay is playing lights out right now. So no, I don't think it's an overreaction.
All right.
Fuck you, Shane.
Back to the Eagles, man. Look real good. What's my man? Saquon Barkley, man. I know that they don't give the MVP to running backs. It's a quarterback league, all that other bullshit, which I hate. I wish that the MVP was truly to who the best player was. I saw somebody tweet this. I forgot who tweeted it. They said, this might be a hot take, but I feel like that Saquon is more important to the Eagles' success than Derrick Henry has been to the Ravens. And I actually kind of agree with that. But Saquon had 26 carries, 255 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. The Eagles, man, that they're coming into form right now. They are on a tear right now. And with the Commanders' loss, they've got even a bigger stranglehold on the division. If you look at the way they're playing, you look at the landscape of the NFC and other teams in the NFC, we look at a team who can challenge the Detroit Lions. I think the Eagles are the best equipped in the NFC to stop the Lions from making a Super Bowl. The Brandon Graham injury definitely hurts 100%. He had a big game before he got hurt. He's out for the rest of the year. And I think that's his career, right? Like he was going to retire at the end of the season, if I'm not mistaken. But
that's what he said. That's what he said.
So he's done for his career. So that's going to be a big loss there. But this is a veteran team. They've been him and the Niners been the top teams in the NFC the last 6 years. And I think that they found a way to win. That's very hard. It's a real old school approach. But say what you want about Jalen, which I'm not the biggest fan. But when push comes to shove, he can still make throws he needs to make to beat you. I think they're the biggest. I'm not saying that they will beat the Lions, but if there's any team in the NFC that can beat the Lions, I think it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Mikey, do you think that's an overreaction or not?
No, not at all. I don't think you're overreacting. I think they're playing amazing ball. Like I had tweeted a couple of weeks ago when we were watching them play Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, the ability to throw 4, 5, 6 different pass rushers and to to continuously rotate them. Their secondary, they've seemed to have fixed that with, Quinyon Mitchell. And, the offense is there. I think, Devontae Smith was out yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Devontae was out.
And they still were able to put up, a 30-piece. So, when healthy, they have all of the weapons. Dallas Goedert being healthy, being that safety blanket for Jalen Hurts is amazing. And then, Saquon is far from washed, and he's really carrying them and doing things in the run game. So I think they have the best shot to beat the Lions. And I'll go one step further. I think they are a legitimate Super Bowl contender.
All right. I 100% agree with that. Now, I'm not an Eagles fan whatsoever. I'm not a Jalen Hurts fan. I don't like cheesesteak Matt Nagy, Nick Sirianni either, but I gotta give it to him. Bang, do you think this is an overreaction to say that they can challenge? They're the biggest challenge to the Detroit Lions?
Hell no, it's not an overreaction. I think that team has everything that they need to go ahead and possibly contend for the NFC Championship. They've already been to a Super Bowl. Their coach is just as crazy as the other coach. No, I don't think it's an overreaction at all.
Dante, what's your take on that?
No, I won't say it's an overreaction. I think I as much as I enjoy watching DeAndre Swift play football, this is one of those. I wish Ryan Poles would have got that nigga. Like Saquon.
I think we all said that. We all want to say
Saquon's so good, bro. And
he's ridiculous.
Another.
But that O-line is crazy.
Yeah, that is. And another.
I'm glad you pointed it out. Even though the O-line is crazy, one thing I will say about DeAndre Swift, I feel like that nigga runs into the offensive line sometimes.
Often.
It blows me away. Go ahead.
Yeah, but also Jalen Carter, bro. Like he damn near demands a double team almost every fucking play. Like, this is why you draft him and then just spend the money on the offensive line, which is what we all wanted to do. But, Foles has his vision for what he wants to do with that. But, yeah, I think this team can beat anybody on any given Sunday. And with the way Saquon, can carry that offense, it takes the pressure off of Jalen Hurts. And, I think sometimes I'm not going to say he wants to be the guy, but then it's like Saquon gets it done. But like you said, when he was sitting there concussed, he was like, the results is the results. Like, it's just like the energy for me, at least, it's kind of like, yeah, we won, but I ain't really do my thing. So that kind of concerns me. But I think overall, this team is really good. And if Detroit doesn't go to the Super Bowl, I could see Philly being the team to represent the NFC.
My final, and I see Pavy agreeing. We're not going to break. We're gonna bring that nigga in a second because he got to come to the stand and defend his man's real quick. But I got one more overreaction. Justin Fields, he had an interesting couple days. Steelers lost that game in Cleveland on Thursday off a questionable third down play. I have no problem with them switching, with bringing in Justin for certain plays, but for those plays, I believe you're trying to use his legs. The third down play where they had him throwing deep, I don't know what that was. I'm not going to say that's the reason they lost, but terrible play call. But you see how he went from playing to being benched, had a big weekend this week, went back to the shoe in Columbus, got love from all the Ohio State fans there before they dusted Indiana. He was the last, Buckeyes QB to actually beat Michigan. My overreaction, man, Justin Fields, I think, is done as a starter in the NFL. I don't know. I think obviously he'll keep a job. I mean, look, fucking Daniel Jones is going to be a backup. This nigga got teams to choose from. He's way better than Daniel Jones. So I do believe that he'll have a job for him, but I don't know if I see a spot where he can be a permanent starter. Mikey, do you think that's overreaction?
No, I don't think it's an overreaction. It's going to take a lot for him to get that permanent spot. I know we can't say never because we've seen obviously Sam Darnold resurrect his career. We've seen Geno Smith resurrect his career, but I just don't see many OCs and many head coaches that are going to mortgage their future on Justin Fields when this is a win now league. There's going to be write it down on your notepad and just do the math on teams that need QBs next year. And then, add into the fact that somebody like Aaron Rodgers is going to be available. Sam Darnold is going to be available. There's going to be guys that have a better track. Daniel Jones, I think Justin is better than Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones will be available. So there's going to be a lot of competition for that. I think if anything, he's going to be a person that is going to be on a transition team where he can possibly start first 3 to 4 weeks, for a team that drafted a rookie and then, roll the reins over to the rookie. But I really don't see a path for him to do that unless he's willing, to sign with Pittsburgh, sit there, develop there, and eventually kind of, get his shot down the road because we know Russ is up there in age. But, maybe that's something he does. But, outside of that, I really don't see it for him.
We are short on time unless Bang and Dante, you got something to really say. We good to move on.
The Raiders. I predict that Justin Fields will be the quarterback of the Raiders because the Raiders, unless they make a huge ass trade, they're not going to be in a situation to get Shador. They're not going to be that poor to be Shador.
And Luke Getsy's not there anymore, so that opens that up right there. Dante, any last words on your quarterback, Justin Fields?
That's my dog. I agree. I think the Raiders is his best shot. But I mean, if Gardner fucking Minshew can keep getting the job, you're not finna tell me that bro can't get a job somewhere and possibly, have some type of success. Now, the career we thought he was gonna have, no, that's not gonna happen. I highly doubt it. That's why I keep calling him, Geno Smith. That's what he should be shooting for right now. Get a coach that falls in love with your skill set and can let you just go.
I will say I agree with you. Gardner Minshew has the complexion for the protection. That is Overreaction Monday. Before I let y'all three take y'all 20-minute break and I'm bring Pavy. We got to bring Pavy right now. He got to come to the stage. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. You got to come to the stage, man. All right. What's up with I'm telling? What's up with your man,
okay,
bro?
all right. Okay. Number one, I want to say the timing of everything looks fucking hilarious. I think that some of the if he didn't use the internet, there are so many things that happened over the past couple of months that would have been better. But I didn't read the full lawsuit. But to me, it seems like a more so of a lawsuit with Universal. But I wonder what you stand to gain from suing Universal. I don't know. Maybe he wants to get off his label. Maybe he wants to go independent. I don't know. But I just think that unless you are going India, you just want to crash out and just say forget it. I think you playing a dangerous game by just doing this because I mean it's been people more powerful than you in the record industry that have disappeared from the record industry. So yeah, I just think you playing a very dangerous game, and I just really wonder what you stand to gain by doing this. But granted, like I said, I've been thinking the man been moving like a junkie all year. But I'm assuming the man is smarter than me, so we'll see. But it does just look kind of hilarious.
It looks
like
bad, bro.
it looks hilarious, but I mean, again, it could be like maybe it's a situation where I think I read someone said he had one more deal left on it, like his album. So maybe I don't know, the label could have conspired to like block some streams or whatever. So like your streams aren't the same. So when you come back to renegotiate, we could say, well, you're not as hot as you once was. We ain't got to give you $400 million again. I don't know, but either way, it's the timing of it all looks hilarious. And Guy Kendrick looking like Thanos out here. So, yeah.
And it's the thing here. And then we're going to move on. We're going to talk about this in full depth on Summer Sessions tomorrow. Subscribe to the Patreon, by the way, if you haven't, because you're not going to miss that episode. We got a lot to talk about. Does he know what kind of... I know Drake got ridiculous lawyers, but do you know what kind of lawyers Lucian Grainge
has? Like, I don't like it's, again, like, what do you...
Like, he got changed the weather lawyers.
Yeah, like, what do you stand to, like, I don't, again, granted, I don't know, but, like, what do you stand to gain? And then also, like, again, if you want to go against Lucian Grainge and Spotify, bro, let's say for whatever reason you do win the lawsuit and you can get out your deal. Do you know, like, bro, you had to type that nigga name in 10 times to find his new songs.
Bro, yeah, exactly.
Like,
somebody just said, I think Joe Budden's manager, business partner, Ian, just tweeted paywall coming soon.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff, but I just think that there's so much. It's bigger than Drake and Kendrick. To me, it's the music industry. They're not going to allow that nigga to win that. Like there's gonna be something where I don't see any way this makes Drake look good from not only just business perspective. We know from hip hop perspective, that's cooked. Like I think the respect level, whatever was there left, he got a jaw stench. He even shot and say, you know what? I'm telling you, didn't fit when Jay lost to Nas. He didn't say, no, I'm going to sue Hot 97. And this is the last thing I said, and we'll move on to basketball. Well, I find very funny. He didn't sue for defamation, which would have actually made sense.
No, that's worse. You can't sue for defamation.
No, both are bad.
Yeah, but you can't sue for defamation, especially when you was talking about he beating his wife. You can't sue for defamation. Both of y'all was defamating the hell out of each other.
You can't do that, because you do that, then everything you're saying is like, oh no, he's pussy and a bitch because he's directly suing Kendrick Lamar. This is clearly something with this is something with his boss.
He's
like
using the label of RICO. RICO is just a term that feels like everybody is using this for everything. He's accusing the label of RICO practices, my G.
Incredible.
And I'll say this, insane. It's insane. And Pavy, to your point, we're like trying to figure out what the end game is, and we all know Lucian has crazy bread. There's got to be somebody behind Drake, somebody that probably has an equally as big of a bag as Lucian, that's kind of like fueling this. Like there has to be some type of business move to coincide with this, because it is a crazy hill to die on, and this could be career suicide for the most part if it doesn't go his way.
And it also can be, because let's be honest about this. Every artist use bots. I think that's
except for like Fonte now, like
not my nigga Pavy, but yeah, everybody use bots.
Not my nigga Pavy. But like, outside of Pavy, niggas use bots. I mean, everybody use bots. That's why I think it's going to a deeper, darker criminal link. That I know everybody's using crash out in the wrong way now, but this is the definition of a crash out.
It's literally a crash out. Like you basically are just saying, yo, if we all going to hell.
Right.
We all going to hell.
He doing the Nino Brown. I'm bringing them with me. That's exactly what he's doing. But Dante, Bang, and Mikey, we're going to let y'all take a 20-minute break. We'll be back in 20 minutes to talk football. I know y'all niggas don't want to talk basketball. I know y'all don't. So I'm not even going to waste y'all time. Bang looking like, man, you want to talk hoops? Did I overstep? Now he got up and left.
Real quick, I will say not this week, but I've been paying this $16, so I'm going.
Okay, all right. So you about to be back?
Yes, sir.
Back? Okay, cool. All right. But yeah, look, we're back here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You, man, for our weekly weekend in the association. Here with Pavy, man, when we go over all of the topics that happened in the NBA this past week. Then we go with the artwork. And Pav got some music dropping this in about 2 days. Tell us.
Yeah. So me and the homie T, we did the Vibe Tape Volume 1. Maybe it was like a year and a half ago. We got a Vibe Tape Volume 2. It's called Customs. It's basically about we both did some traveling this summer. We wrote a couple of records actually while being out the country. So just I would call it just new information. Just new info. We got that dropping the night before Thanksgiving. I know it's one of the bigger party days of the year. So while you guys are, outside, hopefully y'all can, give us a listen and find something that you enjoy on there.
Definitely 27th is one of the best drinking days. Detroit, what up? Where should I go in Detroit? I'm leaving earlier than I thought. Where should I go in Detroit? If anybody from Detroit, I've been to Detroit mad times. I don't know where to go to drink. But I'll just hit my man Chuck English. I'm going to hit Chuck up. He'll know what I'm going. Anyway. Let's get into the NBA, man. Let's talk about the Philadelphia 76ers. I expect this to not go right, but I didn't expect it to go this bad. Right now, the Philadelphia 76ers are not in the playoff chase. If the playoffs start there, it wouldn't even be in the play-in.
Boy, they in the number one pick chase.
Yeah, they're in the number one pick discussion right now. They're 3-13. They are 1-7 on the road, 2-6 in home. They have lost. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They have been ridiculously bad. You've got team meetings happen where you got guys like Tyrese Maxey calling out Joel Embiid and saying, you know what? You need to be to stuff on time. We know you're a vet and you former league MVP, but I'm telling you to show up on time. Paul George doing Paul George things, not being healthy, going on his podcast and being mad at Clippers fans for booing him. Whole bunch of mess. What do you see as a main problem in Philly? And do you think it can get any better, or this is just what the rest of the season is going to be?
I mean, I don't even think there's a main problem. There's like a lot of problems. I mean, injury is one, obviously. I mean, but at this point in time, when you look at Joel Embiid and Paul George, like these guys just be hurt. So if you're going to build your team around Joel Embiid and Paul George, this might be what you deal with. But then Embiid going to the Olympics this summer and then coming back. Like, how did you allow him to play in the Olympics? I don't.
But we were asking that question too, because remember the Clippers told Kawhi,
so Kawhi chill out. So like, if he wasn't gonna be ready to start the season, and then the man said, I don't foresee myself playing back-to-backs for the rest of my career. So how you gonna even build chemistry with your guys? Then you got Maxey, who is a young guy coming into his own. Like Maxey been looking like a superstar some nights out there. Then you got, Jerry McCain, a young guy. I guess you got a lot of guys out there, and I feel like guys are hooping for themselves. Like Jerry McCain trying to put himself on. Maxey, he got his money, but does Maxey have his own money yet?
I think Maxey got paid. Let me Google that real quick while you keep talking.
Yeah, I think Maxey
he got paid.
I think he got paid, but you got guys out there going for theirs, and you also trying to work new guys in. So I don't foresee how
it gets he better. Signed the extension in July. 5 years, $204 million.
Fair, but he's still trying to establish himself. So it's just like a lot going on. And then also with Embiid, I mean, he's not the youngest guy of all time. No. And I've always said with Embiid, with his injury history, I mean, you got to think when he came to the league, he missed 2 years with, I think it was stress fractures in his foot. So he's a guy that's, once you keep getting hurt more and more and more and more and more, and they're lower extremity injuries, sometimes you don't have it like you once had it. He can always be able to score the ball, but defensively, I don't think he's been some dynamo defensively, honestly, like a few years to keep his G with you. So, this may be a little bit regression from him, also trying to work back in basketball shape. So, I don't know. I think there's a lot going on in Philly. And, at like a certain point in time, maybe it might be time to punt the season. Maybe, you know what, y'all go get healthy. We get us a pick. Let's say you end up, getting an Ace Bailey, a Cooper flag, and want to try it again next year or something like that. Because the way it stands right now, 3-15? Bro, you're going to have to start going on like 10-game win streaks and then 8-game win streaks. And with the way, the injuries are working out for them, I don't know if that's going to happen. So I think it's dark in Philly. I think it's genuinely dark in Philly.
Yeah, and that's the problem, too, because you paid these guys. You know what I'm saying? And now it's not like they're supposed to be, in this situation, and I just kind of feel like the Paul George thing really kind of pissed me off about the being mad at Clipper fans. Like, what do you think about those comments?
The Paul George thing that pissed me off was he said, I was mad the Lakers was double teaming me because I was coming back from injury and I was just trying to hoop. Gee, what are we doing, bro?
What are we doing?
So you mad the Lakers trying to win a basketball game?
Right.
We supposed to just let you score 30? You getting paid $200 million. Figure it out.
Yeah.
They pay you to solve riddles. Solve them. So I don't know. Just Paul George and the podcasting. It's just a lot going. Jerry McCain dancing on TikTok. Now ain't nothing wrong with what he doing. But he over there dancing on TikTok. PG over there podcasting. Like, I don't know, yo. It's just like a lot going on over there. And just PG, a lot of PG's issues is just PG himself.
What I want Joe Biden to do before he leaves office is to put an executive order and ban active athlete podcasts. Unless you're retired,
shut up.
You should not have a podcast. It looks bad for everybody. I said in the summer that CJ Stroud need to stop talking. And now he out here causing game losing safeties and throwing to niggas nowhere near the ball. We're seeing the same thing with basketball. And I'm tired of it. Ban the in-season part. I think the only person who get away with it is Draymond. Draymond still hoops. And if Draymond and also Draymond doubles down on the goofy stuff he does.
Not even that, man.
So that I respect it.
Draymond is a 4-time champion, proven, and he's working on his second life. PG, you are 3-15. You should be in the gym. You don't need to have no podcast equipment. You need to be finding a gym in every city you go to.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about another Eastern Conference team that has been running the conference for a couple of years. They start off pretty slow as well. This Dame Giannis marriage has not been going off the way a lot of Bucks fans thought. Something that you called was not going to happen from the jump. I mean, when the trade happened, you and Damian was like, yeah, I don't see this working. They played a little better. They are 7-3 in their last 10, 8-9 still under 500. But Giannis and Dame are starting to hoop, starting to figure things out. What do you think about the Bucks? Are they heating up? Do you think that they can get back to respectable and be an Eastern Conference contender again?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about them being a contender, but I definitely do think that they can have something to say in the playoffs for sure. That's a team that, yes, they have been playing much better. Giannis is honestly, this might be one of Giannis's best seasons. I mean, Giannis is playing incredible. Yeah. Dame has even been, picking it up again. Like, those two were never really the issues. It was the things around them, I think, that were more the issues than what those two were. I think their defense obviously has slipped a lot. Number one, when your backcourt is Damian Lillard and Gary Trent, even though I thought the Gary Trent signing was dope at first because I remember Gary Trent in Portland seemed to be a defender.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to that Gary Trent. But Gary Trent, I think they're figuring it out. Torian Prince is shooting the ball well. So I think they're figuring things out over there in Milwaukee. I still would not pick them to be a championship contender, but I don't think this season has to be bad for them because, I mean, the way it was looking, it was like you might have to trade Giannis by All-Star break. Like, that's the way it was looking. Like, now it's looking like at least we can be a second-round team. We can be a respectable team. And, like, if all things go right, maybe we make the conference finals. And, again, if you get in the playoffs, you never know. You still going to have to play Dame and Giannis and beat them 4 times in 2 weeks. But, yes, I do think they're picking it up. I do think that they're playing better. And I do think that this season will be salvaged for the Bucks.
Let's just say there was a Giannis trade. What do you think they could even get for Giannis?
The thing about a Giannis trade is, like, I was even doing it. It's like, it's not that many places where he can go that have the assets. I think the only 2 teams, Houston, Houston has a bunch of young guys. They have a bunch of picks. They have guys that they probably need to get rid of. Like, they have log jams at certain positions. Like, you have Amen Thompson, you have Tari Eason, you have Cam Whitmore, you have Reed Shepard, you have Fred Van, you have all these guys who you could, Jabari Smith, you have all these guys who you could center up with something and put together like a package. And that's a team I think that would, make sense. Like, you in Houston, you got Ime. If you bring Giannis there, you kind of had a foundation of your team. You could make a run at it. And also, if you the Bucks, you could get back some young pieces and get back some picks that you could build with, or the Brooklyn Nets. But the problem with the Brooklyn Nets is you're going to trade for Giannis, trade a whole bunch of assets, and then who he going to be playing with? It ain't like it's not like it's somebody else there. So even the thing about a Giannis trade is like I don't think it's that many places honestly that he could go. Like Golden State, I don't think the Warriors have the assets or anything that's really appealing to even give them, unless he just like, yo, this is the only place I want to go, and like y'all got to figure it out. But I don't think they really have the assets to get him. So I think
that pretty much destroys the Bucks, because with these small market teams, you got to remember too, like economies is on the line here.
No, facts.
The downtown Milwaukee ain't gonna look like it look now. Ain't gonna be no what they call it, the deer or something.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I forget what it's called.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be none of that.
Yeah,
ain't gonna be none of that.
For sure. But yeah, so again, I don't really think it's too many places where he can go. But if he did want to get out of there, I think for the sake of the Bucks, Houston would be the best option.
Yeah, I think let's go on to this next one. Even though this game happened about a week ago, it was a play-in game, a big game. Everybody's hyping up with the Cleveland Cavaliers coming in 15-0, going against the defending NBA champion Boston Celtics. Celtics got a good dub. Jason Tatum played well. Jaylen Brown played well. By the way, they're getting Kristaps Porzingis back tonight. That's a big one for that, for his be a season debut. There's a lot of returns in the NBA. Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal be returning tomorrow night in the play-in game against the Lakers. And Ja Morant is returning to action today for the Memphis Grizzlies. That's good for them. But I want to talk about the Celtics. The Celtics said they really got hyped up for that game. They've been hearing about, all the praise that the Cavs have been getting. Me personally, I'm not a believer in the Cavs. I think they're a good regular season team. It wouldn't shock me if they finished with the number 1 seed, but I don't see them as a threat to knock out anybody of substance in the Eastern Conference in the playoffs. I know you said you're more of a Cavs believer. Do you think the Celtics brought the Cavs back down to reality, or should we shoot the Cavs a bail because they had a lot of guys out, from the bench?
I mean, I think we can shoot him for bail. I mean, number one, you probably missing your best perimeter defender in Isaac Okoro. He wasn't there. Karis LeVert wasn't there. Max Strus wasn't there. Darius Garland played arguably the worst game I've personally seen him play. He shot 3 for 21. Now, granted, when you did that, that's the reason why when you deliver Drew Holiday and Derek White on you, that could be the reason why you shoot 3 for 21. Also, in the first half, Boston, I think, made like 25 threes. And then when you saw, not in the first half, but in the game, they made 25 threes. They literally couldn't miss in the first half. I think they shot like 60%. And even when they went on their little slump in like the third, and like the Cavs got the lead back to a more manageable level, they still ended the game shooting 50% from 3. If we're going to shoot 50% from 3 and hit 25 threes, you're going to win a whole bunch of basketball games that way. So, no, I don't think they brought them back down to earth. I think, if anything, you think, okay, well, when we get our guys back, now, granted, again, Porzingis wasn't there, and there were many times where it's like you would see Evan Mobley taking advantage of switches, and I would assume that would be Porzingis there if that was an actual game, even if they do have their guys there. But, no, I don't think they brought them back down to earth. I actually think if you the Cavs, you look at that loss and you're like, all right, I like where we measured up with them, especially all things considered, and the guys that we had out. I like where we measured up with them. Now, as I've said, that don't mean I'm picking Cleveland to get to the finals, but I do think that Cleveland is a team that could give Boston some go, and I think that could be a really tough 6-game series. And I don't think that this year we would have the same thing that we were saying about Boston last year, whereas they're not playing nobody.
Right. Well, here's my question for you: what would be considered a good season for the Cavaliers because of how high they started? We know they're gonna go through some lows too because it's an 82-game season. Like you say, is making it to the Eastern Conference Finals and competing with Boston like a win for this franchise, or is there something else you look at for it to be a success?
I mean, yeah, I think that would be a overachievement, honestly. Like, I don't think if we poll most people when the season started, I don't think that we would have said that Cleveland would be leading the conference. I think we might have said New York. Some people might have said Milwaukee. If you wanted to go with like an odd team, you would have had people that were saying, oh, well, maybe it's the Magic year to, have an explosion and win 56 games. I would have told you I thought the Pacers would have been better, but the Cavs probably wouldn't have been a team that I would have looked at. So when you look at this young core, you have these guys locked up. I think if you go to the conference finals and you could take the Celtics 6 games, I think you did something.
Definitely, man. I agree with that. Last topic I have here for you. I want to talk about the beloved, the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls right now are the 10th seed. Well, they always are. They're always somehow at 9 or 10. If the playoffs start, they'd be in the play-in. They're 7-11, 4-6 in their last 10. But Zach LaVine looks great. He doesn't look hurt. He's balling. Vooch has been balling. I think you're starting to see they're starting to play Buzelis, which they shouldn't play in the beginning. He's starting to look like some life. The problem here is, for me personally, and I'll get to you because you talked about this on your daily show. They got to get rid of them two niggas. Like, if you want any chance to build anything here, like, they're not even in the middle. They're there. If there wasn't a play-in, they niggas we missed the play. We wouldn't even be talking about them. To get in the Cooper flag, and who's the other guys? Is it Bailey?
Ace Bailey. You got Ron Harper's son. It's a few people.
Yeah, it's a nice draft outside this Cooper flag. To get one of those guys, you got to get rid of these two. Zach is playing too well, and so is Vooch. Now, Joe Cowley of the Chicago Tribune, he said that the Bulls are officially shopping him. Joe Cowley usually doesn't say stuff to just say it. So maybe that is. My whole thing is this. Make sure you get the right package. The Bulls like to get fleeced. And I feel for the way, especially Zach, Vooch, whatever. Get as much you can because he's playing at a very high level. And I can't. Zach is not a number one. Zach is not a number two on a championship team. But Zach is a really good player that you should be able to get a decent amount for. What do you think about you were frustrated with the Bulls when you were talking about them? Just tell me everything you think about this franchise and what you think needs to happen going forward.
Yeah, I was just watching them against the Bucks, and I'm like, just stop. Like stop. You're not good. What are we actually doing here? You're competing, then you get blown out. It's just a thing with, honestly, all Chicago sports in general. They're never terrible. Like, the Bulls never gonna go like 10-72. The Bears are never gonna go 1-15. They always just go 8-8. The Bears go 8-8, 9-7. The Bulls go 42-40. They be decent enough to get some playoff revenue and then lose in the first round, and then that's it. They decent enough to get people in the stands and excited in the wintertime about their sports, and that's it. You have to break this thing down. The worst thing to be in it. But I've been saying this for years. I said this when you let DeMar go. If you're gonna let DeMar go, trade everybody.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me.
Now, granted, I know it's Zach LaVine. When you look at his contract, you look at the way he played last year. I don't think you would get that much for Zach LaVine. I don't think you're gonna get a whole haul for Zach LaVine.
I ain't say a haul, but you ain't no way you can't get one first rounder for
I don't know if you can get like a super protected pick. I don't know if you get like a lottery pick for Zach LaVine. I might give you a first round 22nd pick, but at the same time, it's not about that. Get him off the books. He's getting $200 million. Get him off the books. Get something. Get some expiring contracts. Somebody can use Vooch. Let the young guys run out there, get bad, and do the only way in the NBA to get good for the most part is to get bad first. Yeah. You got to be bad first, unless you are a free agent destination. For whatever reason, historically, Chicago just hasn't been a real free agent destination, meaning you're going to have to build your team. Meaning you're going to have to build your team through the draft. That's what the Bulls, for the most part, have always done. Any of their good teams have been built through the draft and maybe like one signing. So my thing is, let's just stop. Let's just stop putting Band-Aids on things. Tear it down, bro. Lonzo, get him out of there too. You brought him back. Get him out of there for something. Anybody who want Kobe White, he can go too. Everybody on this team, if they want something, they can go. Get back expiring contracts and just restart, break it all down. I don't understand what we doing here. Like, what are we doing fighting to be the 10th seed? But at the same time, this is the owner who had the worst baseball team of all time. And the Bulls going to sail out forever off the 90s forever. So they don't really have to put good teams in the stands.
The same owner who told, I forgot who he told, but he said that all you need is to make fans think that you're trying. He said it's not even actually about winning. This is a guy who tried to block the owner of the Mets from becoming, because he knew that nigga was gonna come spend money and it was gonna make him look bad. That's a problem right there. For everybody who's like, oh no, when Jerry Reinsdorf, I'm not gonna say what I want to say. Ascends. If you're a White Sox fan, he's gonna sell that. They're gonna sell that team. He has instructed the family to keep the Bulls when he goes. Now, granted, they can say "fuck my dad" and sell the team when he dies, but that's what he said. So they need to get bad now. But anything you want to bring up from the NBA before we get you up out of here?
No, not really. Nah, I think we pretty much covered everything for the past week.
All right. Let's let them know about your project coming out in 2 days again.
Yes, man. Me and the homie T of the swim team dropping a project called Customs or the Vibe Tape 2. Like I said, it's just about our travels. We did some traveling this summer, and it's just new information. Hopefully, you find some things you didn't know about, or you hear something and be like, "Yo, I did that," or you just hear some jams that you like and you like to rock out with. It's definitely some really cool verses on there. Some verses I'm really proud of. I spoke in Spanish on one song, which was cool. So yeah, man. I hope y'all enjoy it and find something that y'all like.
Definitely, man. You can follow Pav at Pavy World on all social media platforms. Visit pavverbs.com. Music drops on Wednesday, man. Pav, we gonna holler at you.
My man.
We're gonna take a quick 1-minute break, and then on the other end and block number 3, we're gonna recap this past weekend in college football. A lot of crazy upsets happened. We're gonna get Courtney's take on that, Courtney and Dante's takes on that, and then we're gonna preview week 13 in the NFL, man, since we're not gonna be on the air on Friday. We'll be right back.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not.
We about to have Dante doing 2 jobs again. Shout out our super producer Nikhil. He's got to go do something, so Dante's got to take over. But we are back. I'm not gonna hold you. Block number 3. Shout out to Pavy. We're gonna, Dante's gonna be joining us soon on that too. He said the league pass. You got league pass. We're gonna be talking basketball.
Yeah, I'm spending my money, so fuck it.
We got Courtney Collarbro. You can follow her 1-800-Collarbro on all social media platforms. Courtney, how was your weekend? I kind of know the answer to that, but how was your weekend?
I mean, it was a good weekend for the most part. There were a couple of downsides. Fortunately, I did not bring my portable charger to that fancy event that I went to on Saturday. So I had to conserve my phone battery, and I did not have to watch Alabama get that ass beat in Norman. But I watched the recap, and yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But I mean, ASU won. So overall, a decent weekend.
All right, man. Let's get into it. I feel like this weekend was upset weekend in college football, man. Had a lot of big upsets. Colorado lost to Kansas. I didn't know that was that a special thing with them playing at Arrowhead? They don't usually play at Arrowhead.
Their football stadium is being worked on, so they're playing in Arrowhead.
Okay, all right, cool. You had that. You had the Alabama upset. A lot of crazy things. Courtney, tell us what some of your observations have been from this upset weekend in college football.
I mean, overall, people are who a lot of these teams say that they are, man. Alabama lost another game that they had absolutely no business losing. As of right now, I really don't know what the identity of that team is. Jalen Milroe, I really thought he got the bozo games out of the way, but he did not. The offense really didn't do a whole lot to help him adjust. And Kyron said, shout out to Kyron, because he definitely said that Oklahoma's defense was tough, and he wasn't joking. Alabama has not been held without a touchdown in a game since 2011. So that's pretty wild that all they could manage was a field goal. But ASU won. Indiana is exactly who we said that they were. I don't know what's going to happen with these last couple of the way that this bracket is going to look. I can't wait. Dante, what are your thoughts?
Well, Dante doesn't have he made changes to the rundown.
Anybody else who happened to watch?
Didn't he say today? Dante said I got takes on everything today.
only college football take I have from this weekend is Jackson Dart.
Oh yeah.
Get ready to learn CarMax, buddy. Because what the fuck was that? Those interceptions. I've never seen anything like that.
Especially the last one, because he was literally, brother, you got blessed that the ball, I think if I recall correctly, the ball bounced off the ground, so it wasn't an interception. But then the very next play, he threw a very fucking clear interception. Like, dude, you were
terrible picks. They were terrible
they were
picks.
A gift from the gods. Yeah, they were just unacceptable picks. Speaking of things that are unacceptable, did anyone see the end of the Arizona State game?
Yeah, so yeah,
egregious clock management.
yeah.
Like,
I've seen bad clock management from that, and also when I watched Matt Eberflus yesterday, I've seen a lot of bad
what? You seen bad what?
Clock management.
Oh, okay. It sounded crazy.
Okay. I definitely didn't say that.
No, I'm really just. There's a lot of scenarios. Oh, what's up, Bang?
Bang, Mike game.
I hear you, big dog.
I was wondering what you was trying. Nikhil said last time you unmuted, so it might be something with your microphone.
Hey, we gotta send a young nigga to Bang House to set his audio up. We gotta get this together.
we got okay, let's see if we got it.
Damn, man.
There
what
we
the hell
go.
going on? All I was gonna say is I thought that the head coach was like a student. The way he was going back and forth with the referee.
I mean,
I thought that was a student. I didn't know that was the head coach. I was like, yo, this dude.
That is our young coach. I think he's the second youngest coach in
He like a douche.
Right.
He look like a douchebag. Like, you know, I motherfucker like, he was a douche. Like
he
that's
got a very punchable face.
Do you know who my father is?
Yeah.
My coach, and I'm gonna stick beside him.
He pulled the Drake. I'm gonna call my lawyer.
He was giving up Christian Bale and Shaft vibes.
Listen here, buddy. Yo, what's white people's favorite angry word? Let me hear champ. Let me tell you right now.
Courtney, what's the white boy running back name? Because he's a beast.
Cam Scatterbo.
He's a beast. Yeah,
the transfer from Sacramento State.
Yeah, he sounds like a beast, right, Scott? You know, like it don't sound like a running back. Sound like, you know, like a Jack Sanborn linebacker.
Yeah, that's who got an elite white name? Who's my man on the Rams? The wide receiver? Not the Rams, the Chargers. Ladd McClunkey?
That's a beast.
Oh, that's a real.
That's a beast. That's a real one.
Yeah,
that's a real one.
They asked
Right
him on the Chargers social media account. They said, "What's your name?" And he obviously said his name. And then she said, "What do your teammates call you? Like, what's your nickname?" And they said, "Ladarius." Like, could you call that man Ladarius McConkey? That's a crazy name.
Ladd McConkey, top 5 white name ever. Courtney, I got a question for you about Alabama, because I know the way that we judge, teams now should be a little different because of the 12-team playoffs. So these losses don't hit as much as they probably would have even a year ago. Do you think when it comes to the rankings that Alabama should be pushed down even further now? Because now they got three losses, and really losses they shouldn't have no business losing to.
Let me go look at the rankings again real quick. I'm just pulling them up. I mean, I don't completely disagree, but I also, just because of the expanded playoff, I think that it's made losses count less. It's kind of, they're arguing, should it, depending on how this last week goes, should an Alabama team even end up making, could they possibly end up making the playoff? I don't want to see a 3-loss team anywhere near the fucking playoff. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. That's absurd. We all agree that that's absurd, right?
Yeah, very absurd.
Because, how can I justify, even with the expanded playoff, how can we justify putting in a 3-loss team with 2 of those losses, Vanderbilt and Oklahoma, both Alabama was heavily favored? I can't justify that.
But they're going to find a way to.
I mean, it's a piece of paper. You might as well have a fucking SEC Big Ten tournament and call it a day. Because, I mean, it's pointless. Like, it's a joke.
Tournament sponsored by DoorDash.
Well, first off, I mean, again, there's no penalties for winning, even if it's barely winning. I agree with that.
Penn
State, get out of my face. Texas.
In the words of Dominic Toretto, winning is winning. I don't care which way they do it. But final, college football thing, we're gonna move on. I want to talk about the Buffaloes real quick because that loss. I think the offense
that was not a great one.
It was not a good for the offense for the Buffs. I think played pretty decent. Travis Hunter is. I don't even think it's a question anymore with Heisman. I think they just need to give it to him. I think it should be as well. I don't even think it's close. When Cam Moore, when they lost to who did it was Georgia Tech they lost to, I think he blew it right there. But that defense, and when we've seen the 3 losses that Colorado has had this year, they've all been at the line of scrimmage. When teams have been able to run on them and dominate them up there, they've had no shot. And that defense got ran up and down that field by Kansas, a team that is not good whatsoever. And Deion, I know he posted his post game speech. He said, "Yo, y'all let you let the hype get to you. Everybody was talking about Colorado possibly being in the playoff. They still got a chance to be in the Big 12 championship game. Of course, what they need to do, they got to win against Oklahoma State and one of a Houston win, either at BYU or both Arizona and Kansas State win.
That ain't happening, baby.
In order to reach the Big 12. So there's a chance, not a great one, but there's a chance.
Have you actually looked at the Big 12 scenarios? It's like a whole.
It's too many of them. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I'm like, let's just worry about us winning our game and it'll all sort itself out. But I want to go to Jerry World, damn it.
So what's your final thought on Colorado, trying to at least get in there?
I mean, I obviously am personally biased. I would like to see my team end up in there. But no, regardless of if they get in or not, it's been a great season. They're going to get a good bowl game, a very good bowl game. Kind of be happy. But yeah, they shit the bed. When they had to win, it was their biggest game of the season. They had to win and couldn't get it done.
Definitely. So let's move on to the NFL. Shout out, we got 1,000 people in the chat right now watching the stream. We appreciate everybody watching. I'm very weird. A lot of y'all tuned in because I called Drake a hoe, and I said we're gonna be talking about Drake being a hoe, and I'm gonna keep saying this. So y'all keep watching. Drake a hoe. We're gonna talk about the NFL week 13. We're gonna do our week 13 picks because we will not be on the air on Friday because it'll be Thanksgiving. Before we get into that, what's y'all Thanksgiving plans this week? Anybody got anything that y'all usually do? Anything special on that?
As a resident outsider, I just go around collecting plates and come back to my house. Be honest with you.
I will be in the crib. I will be in the crib, dog sitting.
Sitting on Thanksgiving?
Dog sitting?
Absolutely. Listen, ain't nobody to argue with me. I can drink in peace and chill on the couch. It's gonna be glorious.
Hey, I can hit my people if you need a plate. Let me know.
Oh, no. I'm making my own food. I am making my own food.
All right.
No. We got a whole thing going on. I can't wait. I got some. We'll talk more about that. But, we're going to be vibing all day. All day. It's going to be glorious.
Mikey, what you got on deck?
As a child of a broken home, I get to split my Thanksgiving, between two families. So that'll be fun. And, the Bears get to start it off right with a nice L. But holiday season for us means Coquito is in the fridge, so I'm ready.
Have you no faith, Mikey?
Nah, hell no. Hell no. I got faith in David Montgomery, 2 touchdowns, and like me and Bang said earlier, when we were texting, we taking the over, and we probably gonna take the Lions team total over. They are scoring more than 27.5 points.
Mikey's weekend bets. Thank you.
Bang, y'all having a group thing at the crib? What's going on?
FanDuel, that's what's going on at this crib. FanDuel and tequila. I'm trying to figure out which bottle of tequila I'm gonna buy. Is it Don Fulano? Is it G4? Is it Canzales?
That G4 is nice. That G4 is nice.
Oh my God, yeah. That Canzales. I might end up doing that. I'm taking the bottle to the head. That's what's gonna happen for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because the Detroit Lions gonna take a bottle to the Bears head to start the day off.
Yeah, it is.
I am around the killer season, nigga.
Yeah, you're right. I will be at Ford Field. I just saw that tweet text. I will be at Ford Field watching the Bears get cracked. I have family in Detroit, so it's not like I'm just in Detroit. So that'll be cool. I'm not gonna be able to eat till late. Like they give Thanksgiving food. I did the Bears Lions Thanksgiving game 3 years ago, but it'd be too early in the morning. I'm not trying to eat that at 11:30. Like, who wants to eat stuffing and turkey at 11:30 in the morning? That's just too early.
Caucasians.
I mean, that's actually really shocking because Black people usually try to get the food in early so you can have multiple plates throughout the day.
What
niggas you know?
Yeah, I'm about to say, what house you been to?
My family. You gotta wake up
early. If a nigga
early
eating at 4, that's early.
No.
Yeah,
we
but
lived
niggas
in
eating at 4, that's early.
If I'm eating at 4, that's because my grandma done pulled me to the side and say, "Here, Poppy, here's a plate before everybody comes."
Right,
And I'm
exactly.
eating that shit in the back, you know. But like last year, you know, my girls have Puerto Rican, half Italian. So last year we spent it with the Italian side. They were bitching because we had to drive from Miami. They eat at 3 o'clock. And like we walk in, it's like 3:15, and everybody's already standing waiting to pray. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Get me out of here.
Bruh, Mike, you hit the nail on the head. I'd definitely be like, hey, come get some of this food real quick. Like we sell like a side dish sheet of
Yeah, you know, you walk in the
eating it
You
for
walk
My
in-
mom would
Look
always
in the
make
back.
like a ham and then like a separate ham, so people, because it's already fully cooked, so you just put it in the oven for like an hour, and then like a little thing of King's Hawaiian rolls, so people wouldn't pick at the other food. Well, you know.
niggas just getting to the house and turn on a game. I guarantee you, because a lot of my family gonna be coming down the trip. We're not gonna be eating till like first quarter of that Packers
Dolphins game.
Like
What time is that game?
Hey,
That's the night game, right?
It's a night game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
no, that's
so-
when you go to the kitchen and you kind of peek around, see what's there. You open in the tray. I grab a little bread and butter, throw it,
exactly.
walk back and see this Cowboys game, waiting on everybody.
And then the room sound like first take. Like
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
No,
So-
those tickets, the cheapest ticket to get into the Cowboys Giants game this weekend is this Thursday is $25. I've never seen Cowboys tickets this
wow. Well, yeah, that's because you got Tommy
And
DeVito
it's standing
versus
room only, but
Cooper
like
Rush.
standing room only is actually not a bad section at I've never sat personally, but it's a nice angle.
Definitely. But let's get into it. Let's
That was
preview
funny,
these.
Courtney.
Let's preview these
my
holiday
bad.
games.
That's bushy of me. My bad.
You know, I ain't broke as fuck, but I mean, I heard it's a good view.
I don't know about y'all poor niggas, but yeah. Anyway, but let's preview these Thanksgiving games. Me, Bang, Mikey, and Dante all said that the Bears gonna get their heads cracked, and not only they're gonna get their head cracked, Matt Eberflus will be fired on the weekend. Courtney, what's your score for the Bears Lions game?
The score?
Yes,
Oh,
give us a
man.
score, because I know you're gonna pick the Lions. So
Yeah, I feel like I have no choice. But I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be like a respectful score, like a nice like 30, 35, 14, possibly 21. Yeah, you know, you're not getting that ass whooped completely, you know, like the defense might fight for it.
That's a 21-point win. That's a definition of ass whooping.
I'm just trying to be a little nice, you know. It's
Hey, if that's the score, I'm eating at noon.
yeah.
I'm eating at noon, and I'm gonna take my girl to go see Wicked, and then we come back for the Packers game if that's the score.
Wicked, not Gladiator 2, brother.
I already peeped.
Oh, how is it? Is it worth it?
It's cool. Shout out to my man Denzel. It ain't, obviously it's not like number one, but it's dope.
Bet. I'll check it out. Yeah, 35-14, possibly 35-21 if they manage to finesse a garbage time touchdown somewhere in there.
I've got 42-24 as my score, but we're going to go on to the other games. We'll go in this order: Dante, Bang, Mikey, Courtney. We're going to start with that. So we're going to go Cowboys Giants in the second game, a game that I will not be watching 1 second of. I will, thank God, be doing post-game work, so I won't be watching that. Gustavo says, I recently got laid off. Mikey, I need help with a generational wealth parlay.
Well, first off, man. I'm sorry.
Hey, stay tuned, man. I'm kind of right now as we're talking. I'm trying to cook this same game, but pay attention to the Twitter. I got you.
Pay attention to the Twitter, Junior_Solito. But yeah, Cowboys Giants, terrible game. But I'm going to say the Cowboys are going to win just because the Giants they're just like unspeakable bad. So I'm gonna go with the Giants in this one. Go ahead, Dante.
I'm surprisingly gonna go with the Giants too. I don't know how they're gonna get it done. This is probably gonna be a horrible game.
I meant the Cowboys. If I said Giants, I meant Cowboys. My bad.
No, I'm saying the Giants.
The
Giants. I think it's gonna be that wild. I got Giants. Giants by a field goal, matter of fact.
Nah, ain't no way in hell I go for the Giants in this one. It's got to be the Cowboys on this one. It better be.
Yeah, that CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown is gonna feed us Thursday. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, I too am gonna take the Cowboys. Dante, I don't know what you see that I don't, but I think the Cowboys win this one.
I think it's just more so of I don't give a fuck who wins. So it's like, let's just go for it.
I was about to say Dante sees a blunt and a bottle of 1942 at 3 p.m.
You feel me?
Yeah. I'm curious. What's y'all's go-to drink on Thanksgiving? I have one.
Tequila.
Usually because I'm around family, I usually drink dark liquor. This is gonna sound funny. For me to get through some of the sports conversation that we gotta have. So I'm Jameson. Jameson is like the 5th starter in rotation.
It's not bad.
It's not the ace.
How do you consume Jameson?
I pour it in a cup now and drink.
Oh, I didn't know you were just Jameson. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, you drink JMO straight or like neat or whatever.
Yeah, I drink it.
I'm normally like a Jameson and Sprite, but JMO's fire.
JMO ginger, damn.
I stopped, spiking, as I like to call it. My alcohol a long time ago.
I do tequila and soda.
Now if I'm in a spot where I can't really like get comfortable and drink, I might throw a little bit in there. But for the most part, I just drink it straight, my whiskey at least. And and it's like your 5th starter. Like, it's good for 9 to 10 wins a year. It's not the best whiskey out there. It's not the ace. If I need to have a whiskey, it's not my go-to. But it's my, because I'm usually on most nights I'm usually drinking wine or tequila. So if I do dark liquor, I'm doing Jameson. So I will have a Jameson after I watch the Bears get destroyed.
At the family's crib is mainly Modelo's. Like, we just drinking beer in between, but we heavy on shots. So we just start talking bullshit and grab a bottle, Don Julio, whatever, or that Cristalino's fire, and we, tequila and beer in between. And then for the, for the ladies and the family, we bring wine and then my grandma will make that coquito, and we get
Mikey, I need some of that. I need a bottle, dog.
Ship me a bottle, my G.
Yeah, ship me a bottle. I need some of that. But yeah, and then also
tequila neat for me. If I'm at the crib, it's tequila neat. But if I'm somewhere else, it's a Mexican mule. Give me a Mexican mule. And
that's a good one. And with
Crown
shots,
apple and Martinelli's apple juice.
That doesn't sound bad. It doesn't sound bad.
But it's got to be the glass bottle Martinelli's. You can't.
For 100, all apple juices are not created equal. I'm glad you said that.
Heads, no, you got to use the glass.
You got to use the bottle. Yeah, when I worked at Amazon Studios, there was like a restaurant on the 1st floor, and they always had the bottle apple juice. I would get that every day when I had that. But I also say this too, like when it comes to shots, I don't do them as much because they hit me later on. When last time I had shots was we was at the FanDuel for my birthday, not FanDuel with DraftKings. I think we must have had like 4 or 5 shots. I don't remember, but it didn't hit me till I got to the door.
That's kind of like normally how I drink. Like, if I go to a bar, I just sit down right away. Let me get a shot and a beer, and then I just keep it going that way. If I'm eating, I don't really like to drink while I eat. But if I have like a Jameson and Sprite on the side, but the majority of shit is just a shot and a beer every time I go out.
We are some fucking alcoholics.
We really are.
Yeah.
You on a whole drink tangent.
I'm sorry. I just want to know more about my homies and what they like to drink when they're celebrating the holidays.
I heard that orange Jameson is fire though. I haven't tried it, but I heard it's good.
I've heard good things.
Now that you mentioned it, I'm about to say, it ain't a holiday drink, but next time you get an espresso martini, put a reposado in there. Thank you.
Yes.
No, I actually had that. I had that at Pavy's album release party, and I'm gonna tell you, I was in the middle of Delilah, looking like I ain't know where I was at. when we was at that table in Delilah, it was like that scene in Belly where everything was moving slow. I ain't know what was going on.
Wait, let me ask for the non-Chicago and Courtney. Do y'all do Black Wednesday?
Oh, no. Drinksgiving?
I guess it's different. Like here in Chicago,
we call it Black Wednesday.
We call it Black Wednesday in Chicago. So like everybody out,
Thanksgiving is what I know it as. But absolutely, that's a thing.
Yes, I will be getting.
I won't be participating this year because I'm a child of God.
I'm getting to Detroit early on Wednesday. I will be somewhere. I need to know where it's at. I will be participating.
Yeah, I already lined it up. I'm gonna go get my hair cut, and then we straight to the bar at 3:00.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you start.
Just early. I'll be at the crib by 8.
Look how excited we get about poison.
Right.
Freaking devil's juice, though. But let's go on to the Sunday, the nightcap on Thanksgiving. The actual good game on the schedule. That is Packers and Dolphins in Lambeau Field. Jordan Love, you can't keep getting away with this. It's to the point where even national media started to get on. I saw on Greeny and I think Rex Ryan were going off this morning. Like, y'all ain't seeing what we seeing with him throwing the ball everywhere. But I think the Dolphins been playing real well. I think that, Tua's been playing well. I don't know what the forecast is in Green Bay on Thursday, but I know it's not going to be warm. And until I see that team play better in cold weather, I got to go with the Packers, unfortunately. And if they're at the crib, I'm going to go with Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Green Bay at home.
I guess I go with Green Bay.
I'm going to ride with the Dolphins. Give me the upset. I think it's going to be, it's going to be in the 20s. Shit.
Let me take that back.
Yeah.
Give me CTE, boy, shocking the world. Remember last year the Dolphins won on Thanksgiving. They beat the Cowboys.
They were in Miami.
Oh, that was Christmas. That was Christmas.
Yeah,
They beat. Yeah,
was
Christmas.
in Miami.
Yeah.
They was in Miami too.
I'll take the Dolphins. Fuck it.
I'm taking Green Bay. I don't trust Tua in cold weather.
Let's go to a Black Friday game on on Black Friday in Kansas City on Amazon. It will be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, the Chiefs just got done being in a shootout with the Carolina Panthers. I think that this will be a competitive game. I hope it's a competitive game because last year's Black Friday game was disrespectful. When it was a backup bowl because Tua was out and so was Aaron Rodgers. So this will be better than that just by default. I think the Chiefs get a dub, man. I don't think that Patrick Mahomes ever lost to the Raiders. No, that's I lost last year.
Yeah,
but I don't think I'm gonna go with the Chiefs in this one with a Black Friday dub.
Yeah, Kansas City. The Raiders ain't gonna win another game this year.
AOC ain't about to do shit with the damn Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs.
All right, clean sweep right there. Let's get into the Sunday game since, like I said, we won't have a show on Friday. So if you're betting, don't listen too closely because we don't know who's gonna be in or who's gonna be out on Sunday. But I will be uploading this video like we knew on Sunday morning. But Patriots Colts in Foxborough. Drake May been playing pretty good. The Colts, Anthony Richardson, have been competitive these last couple weeks. This is gonna be a very interesting game. I think it's gonna be close, but I trust Drake May more than I trust Anthony Richardson, even though I think Anthony Richardson has the better team. But I think the Colts have way better roster than what the Patriots have right now. But I think it's going to be a close game. And it's going to come down to who's quarterback better. And I'm going with Drake May. So I'm going with the Patriots.
I'm going to go with the Colts. I think the Colts are going to get it done. They play well this Sunday, and so I think that'll carry over. And they'll get the victory just because I don't think the Patriots are any good. I know they beat us, but no.
Shane Waldron beat us, but you're right.
Hey, Gerard Mayo needs to shut the hell up.
Thank you. You said it. I didn't have to.
I got the Patriots winning this game, but Gerard Mayo need to shut the fuck up, fam. Somebody need to put him in some classes.
I do find it hilarious that Dante said the Colts play hard and niggas scored 6 points yesterday.
We tried. We tried.
Look who they played. I mean, shit.
Yeah. Y'all got to play him next. So.
Okay. All right. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Go ahead, Mike.
Right. Give me if Michael Pittman Jr. plays, obviously, because this is contingent on health. Give me the Colts.
If Josh Downs is healthy, give me the Colts.
All right, let's go to this next game, AFC North game, man, and that's right before a couple days for the debut of Hard Knocks AFC North, which I cannot wait to watch. The Bengals, whose season is essentially over, but they're still gonna fight to the end. Joe Burrow and them will be hosting Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Russell had a very tough loss this past Thursday. Against Cleveland Browns. I think they're going to bounce back. I hate this Bengals defense. So much. I think Joe Burrow is having a career year, but I think he's going to struggle a little bit against this Steelers defense. And I do believe that Russell Wilson make enough plays to win the game. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers with an upset on the not really upset, but the road win over the Bengals.
I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow at home. I think he does enough to get it done, and they beat the Steelers. I don't think it'll be, a lot of points scored, but I think they'll do just enough to get the job done.
This is why I'm upset about the Bengals this year. My parlay, which would have got me, I believe, like $5,000, had Joe Burrow as the MVP. He's playing at an MVP level. Had Caleb Williams as my offensive rookie of the year. If he didn't start off slow, we would have been straight. Jared Verse is my defensive rookie of the year. He's probably going to be defensive rookie of the year. And that would have been nice. And I'm still not leaving the Joe Burrow train. They are going to defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just mad this parlay ain't going to go through.
Yeah, I'm riding with the Bengals. I mean, you could do a little alt spread on the Steelers and let the Bengals still win. But give me the Bengals. Their offense has been lighting it up. I know obviously defensively they don't know shit, but what I say about Russell Wilson, he will have a couple of those games where they give it up, and this is that stretch. Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm taking the Steelers.
All right, let's go to this next game. Which also should be entertaining. This will be in Atlanta between the Falcons and the Chargers. Now, we do not know what the Chargers record will be because as we're recording this, they're about to kick off Monday Night Football in the Har Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens, and Khalil Mack is back. He's active today. Shout out to Khalil Mack. So I don't know how this game gonna go, considering we don't know how this one's gonna go. But despite what happens today, I think Atlanta is on a little bit of a slump right now, and I think the Chargers are on the up and up. And Negro Damas is telling you that the Chargers are going to win today on Monday, November 25th against the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm going with the Chargers beating the Falcons in Atlanta.
The Falcons, I think they're going to defend the dome. I think the Chargers, anytime a West Coast team has to come, cross country, I usually like to tend with the home team. So I think on this one, even though I do like what the Chargers are doing, and just to crack a funny. Remember what we thought that the Bears were going to trade for Khalil Mack, bring him home?
Yeah,
that was going to be it's crazy. No, but I'm going to go with the Falcons.
The Chargers defense is just surprisingly good with Jesse Minter as the DC. That's why I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Yeah, it's tough for me to pick because obviously we don't know what today's Chargers look like and what this outcome is going to be with the Ravens. What type of a close game they play. But I'm going to ride with the home dog here. Give me the Falcons, man.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with the Chargers. They've impressed me. Don't quote me, depending on the direction of this game, but I'm going to go with the Chargers.
This next one, Aaron Rodgers. Contrary to popular belief, is not going to be getting benched, even though he has declined to get the team to look at him so they can have a reason to bench him. He will be starting at home against the Seattle Seahawks, who had a big win over the Arizona Cardinals at home this week, and they're tied for first place right now. The Jets suck. It doesn't matter where they are, home or road. Seattle's going to win this one, and Gino's going to get a little revenge on his old squad.
Oh, yeah, Seahawks big. I think Seahawks win big. The Jets, this is like the ultimate shit show, and it's crazy to see Aaron Rodgers. He may end up having, a very similar career arc to Mr. Brett Favre. But I'm going to go with the Seahawks. He said Geno revenge game.
I got the Jets in this game. Don't ask me why.
You just got them.
Just got them.
All right.
Give me the Seahawks. Big Kenneth Walker gal.
Give me, yeah.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
You right, Courtney, right there. This is a big Kenneth Walker game. Give me Seattle. Give me Geno. Team still playing for playoff contention.
All right, let's go to the next game. Texans looking crazy. Like I said, Trillburger Twitter apologized to me for what I said a couple weeks ago, and I was right about CJ's sophomore slump. This game, there's rumors that Trevor Lawrence might be able to play. I don't really think it matters if him or Mac Jones play. This is a game that the Texans need to win to, get off this little mini schneid they're on right now. And I do think they will win because the Jacksonville Jaguars are a terrible organization. They're run so badly, they actually kind of make the Bears look like the Yankees. That's how bad the Jacksonville Jaguars look. I'm going with the Texans in this one.
Texans. This is another team that they may win another game this year, but you won't find me picking the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm gonna go with Houston.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the dummy either. Houston Texans. Bounce back game for CJ Stroud.
Fuck, man. Give me Houston, man. Give me Houston.
Yeah, what Dante said. I'm not picking the Jags anymore. Give me the Texans.
I think they said Trevor Lawrence is coming back to practice.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
might
was
play.
thinking.
Yeah. Hey, you know
matter.
what? Nah, give me the Texans.
Yeah. exactly. Give it to Texas. Yeah, I paused for a second too. Like, no, it doesn't matter. Next game, another good NFC game right here, man. The Vikings back at their home field for the first time in like 5 weeks. They've been on the road. They can be playing the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals definitely need a win after taking that loss to Seattle. But I like I said, Arizona is Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Like, I don't know which team they're gonna beat each week. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. has only gone past 50 yards receiving 3 times this year. I don't know what's going over there. I know the Vikings are really, really good. I love how Sam Darnold played yesterday. I think he's going to continue to go at that. And Jordan Addison really, really hooping right now. You didn't even really have anything from Justin Jefferson yesterday. That's how good Jordan Addison was. I'm going to take the Vikings, man. I'm honestly going to take the Vikings by double digits.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Minnesota on this one. I think you get I don't even necessarily a bounce back game because he's going against a lesser cornerbacks, so to say. I think the Cardinals have been entertaining, but I'm going to go with the Vikings to get it done.
Yeah, man ain't gonna come out of here with no win. I got the Vikings.
Yeah, give me the Vikings, man. Free Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings as well.
All right. UMG is putting out all the stops. They said no amount of contrived and observed legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans choose music that they want. I love lawyer talk.
Boy, them lawyers lawyering, nigga.
I know some of them words.
Yeah, I know some of those words.
I know some of these words.
Man, let's go to the Commanders. Commanders lost in brutal fashion yesterday, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. They're going to be playing the number 1 defense of football, which is the Tennessee Titans. The Texans let Will Levis come in out and beat them. I just can't get over that. I do think this is going to be a very tough game for them because the Titans defense really knows how to play ball. Having said all that, I think the Commanders are going to win. It's going to be an ugly game, but there's just too much offensive talent on the other side. And let's be real. Will Levis is not going to put up points, outduel Jaden Daniels, I guess you want to say. So I'm going with the Commanders, bounce back win against the Titans. Get right game.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to call it, get right game. Even though the Titans are a tough win. But I think that Jaden does enough to get it done. And like you said, I think they score over 20. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those 17-14 games, some shit like that. So I'm gonna go with the Commanders.
Will Levis is ass, but that defense ain't. I'm actually going with the Titans in this game in the upset.
Is this game on the road for Titans?
Yeah, it's in DC or in Landover. My bad.
In Landover, so it's in Maryland.
It's in Maryland.
I think this game is gonna. The Vikings game was against the Titans 2 weeks ago where they kind of got right. Give me the Vikings or give me the Commanders.
Yeah, Cliff Kingsbury is never beating the Cliff allegations ever. In spite of that, I do still think that the Commanders win this game. No thanks to him.
I cannot wait to debut the fine buzzer next Monday.
That was so fucked up. Like,
I cannot wait to debut that next Monday. But next game got an NFC South matchup. Looks like there's a little life in the arm of Bryce Young. He's showing life. It's small increments, but it's coming there. I like what I see from him. The Buccaneers are playing good ball. I believe this got stupid finish alert written all over it. Something is telling me that the Carolina Panthers are going to find a way to win. I don't know why, but I'm picking the Panthers. Something telling me they're going to find a way to win this game. It's a division game. Dumb stuff has happened. I'm going to take Carolina in this one.
For all my short kings, you better tune in to Carolina and everything we got cooking right now. That man is putting us on his back, leading us to glory. You see, he was dropping dimes last week. And again, I done picked him, I want to say 4 weeks in a row. I'm 2-1. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
I've been also on and off the Carolina Panther train, and I'm on this week. I'm with you, Scott. With you, Tay. I'm picking the Panthers in this game.
Oh, Dave Canales, little revenge against his old squad. Give me the Bucks, man. Y'all tweaking.
Yeah, my gut wants to say the Panthers, but I'm gonna go with the Bucks. But momentum is a crazy thing, you know. Confidence also crazy thing. You start believing that you could almost beat the Chiefs. I know almost don't count, but if you could almost beat the Chiefs, you can definitely beat the Bucks.
I love that he did the Tommy DeVito. And they asked him, is he Italian? He said, I don't know. I haven't checked my 23andMe. It was hilarious. Shout out to Baker. Saints, Rams. Saints on a bye week this week. They'll be off the bye week back at the crib going against the Rams team that's not playing good football. And I want them to continue to play not good football. So Sean McVay can retire. And maybe I can keep my theory of, I know it's not going to happen before Mikey laughs, of entertaining him liking Chicago weather. But Saints, Rams, I think that the Rams are not playing good ball, but I don't like the Saints. Sorry, Courtney. I'm going with the Rams.
I got an Eagles fucking beanie on. Do you see where I'm at right now in my life?
Give me the Rams.
Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, no, I had to cough. My bad. I too am picking the St. Louis. I said St. Louis. I did that like 2 weeks in a row.
That's crazy.
I'm picking
fine.
It's been like 15 years, bro.
No, you can't find as much as you be mispronouncing shit. You can't find.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? What does the thing say on the banner? I'm gonna tell you what it says. It says hosted by
Oh my god!
I make the rules here.
So he James Brown in this bitch, JR. He gonna start hitting us with the 5.
Don't like nothing without David Ruffin.
Nigga pulling up the graphic. Hosted by.
That's crazy.
Hey man, hey Scott. Yeah, hey, what nationality is Sean McVay's wife?
She white, ain't she?
Like, but what? Like, she Russian?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm asking if she's
definitely
spicy
white. She definitely spicy white.
Because I'm thinking about like her being at some like Billy Deck event. That's what I'm saying. Like, she's what? Is she white enough to be at a Billy Deck event?
That's a good question.
For those who don't know what that is, what is that, Bang?
Basically, the whitest of the white and the richest of the white people and bears be at Billy Deck events. Yeah. I have once been at a Billy Deck event.
Is it a
Yeah, Billy Deck, like on all of the good restaurants and white clubs here in Chicago.
Okay. How old is he?
Shit, I think he's in his late 40s, but
Courtney trying to come up, man.
Yeah, she's trying to come up. Yeah. But yeah, I have two went to a Billy Deck event, and I was there. And shouts out to me and Sean Davis, and we saw all of the pomp and circumstance there. Which, if my memory serves me correct, yes, Scott, there's definitely potential at Sean McVay being at one of those events. Yeah. And that's why I am not picking the Rams in this game as well. Riz is in.
Agenda for purposes, yeah.
Yeah, so Riz is in. Hey, man, Puka didn't even know what division he was in, fam. And he ain't even got no percussion.
That was funny as hell.
Funny as hell. So, yeah, nah, man. I got the Saints in this game.
Go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah, give me the Saints. I'm riding with my team. Fuck that.
All right, next game, Ravens, Eagles. Granted, we don't know what the Ravens game will be like because, like I said, we're doing this early, and the Ravens about to play in like 25 minutes. Having said all of that, I'm big on the Eagles right now. It don't matter if the Ravens win tonight or not. Even though it's on the road, I'm going with the Eagles, man. Going with the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. I think Saquon is going to have the bigger game than Derrick Henry because in these games,
off right now.
In these games,
I was up in my fucking fantasy team by 50 points going into tonight. Broke up for 47.
Well, you know how that is with that play calling, man.
But yeah,
yes, I'm going Eagles.
I think this has game of the year potential right here.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a great game, actually. And I'm going to go. I'm going with Lamar, man. I'm going with the Ravens. That defense is some shit. But I think Lamar's going to rise to the occasion.
Hey, and it's going to be more shit because Roquan out tonight. So I don't know what that means for next week. We ain't playing that.
A potential Super Bowl preview. And Scott, she's Ukrainian. And I work with.
Oh, we got a chance. We
Yeah,
got a
we got a
chance.
chance because I worked with some dudes that's like Bosnian and all that shit. They be DJing, they be having all of that. So yeah, no, it's a chance, Scott. That Sean McVay come here, but we picking the game, and I'm picking the Eagles.
Give me Lamar. Give me Lamar, man. I'm gonna ride with the Ravens.
Dante, why are you Jersey Shore fist pumping?
Right.
Oh no, because my Chargers Raven ticket just sold. I got a hot 250 about to hit the account. What do you mean?
Oh, the last minute sale.
Damn, last minute buzzer beater.
That's the way to buy
Ticketmaster
tickets
about
for
to-
events, honestly.
Ticketmaster about to take this bitch down, boy.
He said, we going to Onyx tonight.
There go
Blue
that.
flame on me.
That's that bottle. Whoever crib he pulling up to pick up plates, he's gonna come in with a bottle.
Yes, I will not be empty-handed, folks.
Oh, I'm going with the Eagles. I don't know if it was even my turn. I'm going with the Eagles though.
You gotta ride with the Eagles. You got that Scully on.
It's
Mhm.
fire. It's so cute.
It is. That shit is hard.
All right, let's go to the two primetime games for next week. We got the Bills and Niners in Buffalo. Don't know if Brock Purdy's playing, but guess what? Doesn't really matter. I am off the Niners. I am big on Joshua Allen and the Bills. I got the Bills winning on Monday Night Football against San Francisco.
Yeah, man. The same way y'all feel about Sean McVay is how I feel about Kyle Shanahan right now. I need some chaos. So, John Lynch could fall, hit his head, and want to do some dumb shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Get
I'm
rid of
with
Kyle
you.
Shanahan. So I am going with. I'm sorry, I want to cough again.
There we go.
The Buffalo Bills.
Look, man, I'm with you, Dante, on that Kyle Shanahan possibly to the Bears thing. Just do enough to slip up. And hey, in this 1991 Super Bowl preview, I got the Buffalo Bills winning this one.
Give me Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills. The Niners will be trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak when the Bears roll into Santa Clara.
Oh, we know what that means. Back
Oh,
up.
belt to ass.
That's what that means, nigga.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills, and I don't think it's gonna be particularly close.
Orlando. I'm with you, Courtney. I think it's gonna be a blowout too. Orlando says we're gonna see McVay and River North this off. River North is prime for Sean McVay. Like that would be that
careful.
nigga's
He need to be
home court.
careful over there. They will
That's what I'm saying.
Ricky Pearsall his ass in River North.
Wait, River North is a bad area?
Yeah, whichever way it depends.
Yo.
I know. I'm about to say I pulled up on this shorty, and it was definitely like 5 people just standing there, and I'm like, "Oh, this is not the River North I remember."
Yeah.
It's different. It's different.
Them YNs be down there, boy.
There's a Bar Louie over there that I really
Listen.
go to.
Them YNs be down there now, boy.
Listen, my man from uptown from the North Pole, fucking around in River North. He caught 3 in the arm. It on a Saturday night. It happens.
How's Rush Street looking these days?
Rush Street's cool in the summertime, like the Viagra Triangle. That's just cool in the summertime. But when it's cold, nobody want to be outside.
The Viagra Triangle.
The Viagra Triangle. That's where you see all the old men with the young ones trying to get that bag.
Bobby said, Courtney, anywhere in Chicago they can get you. That's not nice. It's not wrong, but you have to say it. Final game on our predictions, man. Monday Night Football. A week from now, or when you're watching this on Sunday, tomorrow, the Monday Night Football primetime debut of one Bo Nix in the Mile High. They're only going up against Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. Hey, man, I think Bo's going to put on the show. Bo going to put on the show. Bo knows. Yeah, Bo knows Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Broncos in this one.
You're absolutely right. We're gonna get some T-shirts made, Bo Money Knicks, man. I am going with the Denver Broncos as well. I can't believe this shit, but no, Courtney. This was again just like with your Royals pick. This was
spot on.
Bo Nix has been on point. You can't deny it. I'm going with the Broncos.
Thank you.
Hey, man, I can't go up against Jameis Winston, fam. I need Jameis Winston quotes. I need happy Jameis Winston. I need a Jameis Winston win. Hey, man, I got the Browns on this game.
Give me Bo Nix, man, he's hooping 16 touchdowns, 6 picks. Sean Payton, hey everybody, coaching matters.
Yep. Give me the Broncos. I am going with Denver, obviously. And again, I am wrong often, but when I'm right, I'm right.
All right, man. That is all we have today on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. We'll be back next week. There will not be a show on Friday. When I get back from Detroit, I will be getting intoxicated all weekend. I have nothing to do this weekend. So I am looking forward to not doing shit this weekend. So there'll be no show. We still gonna make the clips like I usually do. They'll be on the feeds all week for you to check out. But that's all we got. So anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here and wrap this thing up?
No, man, stay safe. You know, it's gonna be a lot of people on the road. Anybody driving, do not drive drunk. And y'all enjoy y'all families, man.
Uber is cheaper than a DUI.
1,000%.
Drake also claims that UMG paid Apple to manipulate Siri, purposely misdirecting users to not like us. I've never used Siri
Ever.
in these purposes.
I have. And I'm telling you, that theory never took me from Drake to they not like us. It never happened. What are we doing, bro? It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for him.
He just need to go ahead, drop that P&D album for the real strokers and just let us be.
The real
Hey, Siri, play Drake. Oh,
Yo,
it ain't even work. I got my shit
yo, do y'all see Stephen A. Smith looking like a narc on Monday Night Football right now?
It looks crazy, dog.
What is this shit?
Give me two weeds, please.
What is he? What is he wearing, bro? Stephen A. got too much money to be dressing like this. What is that? Nigga like backup singer for Jodeci. What is he doing?
With the
Why wouldn't you go with the full leather, G? I don't know.
What is that?
Aren't they in LA? Why he dressed like
LA?
that?
I know it's cold in LA, nigga. For LA, it's
with
cold.
the back, he got the backwards hat on.
Yeah, it's definitely leather approved LA weather right now. But
bro, he got that jacket from Burlington Coat Factory. What is he doing?
This is my mama jacket. But yeah, man. So we gonna wrap this up, man. Of course, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Barberchair Scott. You can follow the Barbers Chair Network at Barbers Chair Net on all social media platforms as well. Follow Dante at October Zone Tay on Twitter. Follow HB Media at HB Media TV on Twitter. Follow them at HB Media on Instagram. Follow JR Bang at JR Bang on all social media platforms. Follow Mikey at Junior_Solito on Twitter. You can follow Courtney at 1-800-CALLER-BRO on all social media platforms. And subscribe to the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Barbers Chair Network, man. If you're watching this right now, you can take your phone, scan the QR code, it'll take you right to the Patreon. You are not going to want to miss tomorrow's episode of Summer Sessions. I have got a lot to say. I am disgusted as a hip-hop fan for this shit that I have been seeing. I'm finna be like Tay Diggs and Sanaa Lathan on Brown Sugar. This isn't hip-hop. I'm finna be in that kind of bag. But subscribe to the $10 holla to listen and watch that, man. And if you subscribe to the $10 holla and you're a new subscriber, you will get a code to get 25% off your first order at the bcnetshop.com. And also, I will be having Black Friday sales on the Barber's Chair shop that I will be announcing before Friday. So check all that out, man. So that's all we got for y'all. Y'all enjoy your holiday, and we're gonna holler at y'all next week, man, to recap week 13 in the NFL and talk to NBA, all the other good stuff. We up out of here.